allow the two children to have them before delivery.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind. Off your
sound like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, na 500,000 they go sama us, call am hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people wey dey spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. This one na dey off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. And in dey touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be dey holla say dem want the power. Chai, dem be promise us say we go get light and power. Dem hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. This one not dey off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Person wey dey do evil no wan make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too dey talk. He too dey talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman pikin dey the street dey hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe é, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun diary, diary politico.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Aliyu Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Aliyu Saraki.
Maiyegun ti
Hello there. So good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you're joining us. It is Maiyegun live. So welcome to the Temple of Truth. Tonight, please, brethren, as you are joining and taking your seat, remember that after reading the caption of the broadcast, the next thing is the description of the broadcast. And the next is to like your offering. Then share, to invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them that Maiyegun today, Maiyegun is live. Maiyegun's diary political. The diary and the political. So it simply means that at any point in time, now or in the future, that you want to dig into an accurate sort of like record of the activities, the actions, the inaction, the conspiracies, and every other vice of these rogues. There is no way you are going to search with some keywords on social media or on the internet that Maiyegun's diary political a repository of record for all these events. Tonight, as the journey towards another determinant event, which is a charade, national charade, with the impression that Nigerians will have a chance to decide whether they want to continue with Tinubu or not. But we have all been seeing these different players featuring, in the arena, either for or against. We have seen enough of the Tinubu's camp swelling with characters who were supposed to act as, opposition to the same ruling party on behalf of the people. So it's all seemed that Tinubu is coasting to a possible, second term, whether they like it or not. But whether they like it or not is also a statement from Tinubu's side, right? However, who are they? Well, as much as it might appear that those who were supposed to challenge a call or help or, join others in salvaging the contraption have all joined him. So it's like, who else remains? But there are still some as they say. People will tell you to Bible tells you not, like, fear not. But in Nigeria, there is this subconscious warning that says, fear not, especially when it comes to their agitation for power and for record. Even those who have, attained power in that contraption of one time or the other went to this same hegemony in the north. So fear not. So far, so good. If I have to kind of like make this simple for us to understand this conversation tonight, is that Tinubu has failed. However, some will say that depends on who is saying that. So if you are an opposition, you have all the evidence to say, with what Nigerians are facing economically, as well as the other kind of problems, including the major one, the insecurity. This alone, if you have to rate Tinubu, it will be rated failure. While others who are like Vuvuzela's propaganda handles continue to push the narrative that his policies will take time, blah, blah, blah. Now, on the part of those who feels the brunt, you can say the proper Nigerians are those who are feeling the brunt of Tinubu's regime. And if they have a choice, they are likely to, reject Tinubu. Those ones are there. Then you have the political class, by design, by sheer, choice or whatever it is, that they are now outside the corridor of power. So those ones who are pretty much now re-echoing the cries of the other larger demography, the Nigerians who are affected, millions of them. So these ones who are the politicians, right? They are re-echoing their cries and then want to build their political capital on that. Now, this group are those who are the day that want Tinubu out. But in the face of the whole thing, right? You see the group who are the political class. I have not started mentioning names yet, okay? We're going to get to that part. So this political group who are like the ones who are acting as, the opposition, planning coalition against Tinubu. Remember, they want to leverage on the misery that Tinubu has unleashed on the people. So, to them, when you begin to look at the names and those who are the drivers, they are from northern Nigeria. Right? And to them, or to others who are like, okay, hang on. Is sending Tinubu away about power or about his failure in governance? Now, you see this kind of like two questions or so is probably yet to be answered. Maybe they will be answered at the end of the day, because others who have managed to say something, they said that it is both. Without power, you can't help the people. Without the people, you can't get power. So at the end of the day, the people will be made to queue behind their oppressors too, who are without power. Because now that these ones have no power, so they would not appear as oppressors to the people that they've once oppressed. So in the course of those who need freedom from Tinubu and his gang, let's put it that way. And why is that? Because it is Tinubu and his gang who have helped to bring about the current whatever everyone is facing. And they have all the resources to actually end it, for God knows reasons why this is happening. And yeah, I think it's not even like for God knows reasons why. Because what I mean by that is this. Their policies on economy, as much as people have been exposing them, their own wastages, corruption, impunity, so many other things that have compromised what could have helped to stabilize your system, then coupled with other external interests. The external interest whose interest formulate or influenced the policies that continue to destroy Nigeria. The policies they are telling you to give time. Do you get that now? So in the long run, the northern Nigeria, who are pretty much vocal now, one of them is Audu Aliyu. He was Tinubu's senior special advisor, special advisor to Tinubu on political affairs, something like that, right? So he served with Tinubu for 2 years, according to him. And what he saw was so shocking for him to handle because he quite agreed, according to him, that Bokwari did not deliver. That means Bokwari failed. But there are some of them, somehow, who have heard so much about how Tinubu transformed Lagos. How that. So, but until when they got in, then they realized that, what did they find? That Tinubu is a total disaster. And this is not just Tinubu. I mean, when you say Tinubu, you're talking about Tinubu and those he appointed to man critical institutions, making critical decisions. So that's somebody from the inside. But there is more. So for a brother, right? Let's hear this first part of Audu's supposed revelation on why the North and, by extension, Nigerians would want Tinubu out, and he resigned because he want to work. I mean, he's interested in working against Tinubu continuing. So in all of this, the document time. Let's start with this.
I know you've probably answered this question innumerable times, but bear with us because this is the first time you're appearing on this program. Just remind us why you resigned, because resignation is quite a big step, isn't it?
Perhaps. I mean, it's a one part to declare my intention and make it known to God and to man that I'm no longer involved in this, and not even my silence can be misquoted for approval. So I did what I have to do. I mean, in all sense of honesty and sincerity, I couldn't remain in the government knowing I was at the point where I was convinced. It was a matter of conviction. I was convinced that it is not what I expect it to be, and it's definitely not what it should be. I mean,
what was it about it that disappointed you?
The sheer display of unsportsmanliness. I mean, if, for the lack of better word to use, if that exists, I mean, we need to create a society where we say it's okay to healthily compete, and it's okay to have a winner and to have those who don't win because they don't really lose. Nobody really loses. The only man who loses is the man who doesn't try. I mean, we need to make it normal that no winning is a part of winning. You don't win now. You work on winning next time.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand how that applies to your resignation.
Exactly.
With focus on the government that you were part of.
Yeah, the government.
Because you're speaking in parables.
The government I'm part of. No, it's straightforward. You see, the most uncomfortable part of it that I've come to realize with my resignation is how we are very comfortable with pretending that our problem exists, or we acknowledge it exists. We have the energy to solve the problem, but rather expend that energy in avoiding the consequences of solving a problem. We want to build. Something is in our way. We could use the energy to go through it, but we rather sidestep it and know that thing is forever coming to haunt us. It's a circle.
Yeah, but there must have been specific things that happened while you were there.
The FCT minister,
right, that's one of them,
is in PDP,
right,
but he controls the APC in Rivers State and in FCT.
Right.
I am a card-carrying member of the APC in FCT. I ran for local government chairman in FCT in APC 2015. I did not win the primary ticket, but I was instrumental to our winning the local government. We were in opposition at the time. Abdullahi Adamu Candido was our candidate that won the primary election. The political elite in party secretariat wanted to ruin that because they wanted someone else. They wanted to be the, I was working in Accra at the time. I kept flying in. I was the youngest, or about it. Or maybe one person was younger than me, the son of the late House of Rep member. But I went around to all of the aspirants and I told them, you all wanted to win. You knew only one person was going to win. We had 32 people who indicated interest. 16 of us bought form. Of the 16 of us, we all knew one person was going to win. So If you really love the country and you love the party and the person who wins, you're going to work with him to deliver on what you want to deliver. I mean, basically, in our case, what has happened is we have a Wike who is a member of the PDP destroying the PDP with the support of Mr. President, because the office of the Minister of the FCT is not a political position, it's a state power. So if you give that state power to back someone to destroy opposition, let's remind ourselves that the fact that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is president today is thanks to the existence of opposition. He might have played a huge role in keeping opposition alive, and he has gotten the biggest reward from installing himself practically. That's okay. But what isn't okay is now destroying the opposition because you don't want rivalry. You can't sell me liberalized economy but monopolized politics. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You are against monopoly in economy, but you are promoting monopoly in politics. Economy is a subset of your politics.
But do you think that, and I mean, there are people who will see the point that you're making, but do you think that in the same way that you're criticizing Nyesom Wike, who is in the PDP but is influential in the APC, do you think that your position...
Nigerians.
I know you probably answered...
I hear people declaring for APC, saying that they want to continue the good job of Mr. President, the good job of people dying every day, the good job of Naira falling every day. I feel so ashamed that we are going to the level where sacrificing, people will come and say, look, I want to continue the good job of Buhari. What is the good job of Buhari? Of hunger is a good job, of poverty is a good job, of insecurity is a good job, of the economy falling is a good job. It's such a shameful thing. I can't believe that somebody will come out in today's Nigeria and say, I want to continue where Mr. Buhari has stopped. I hear people... Nuisance, Lily.
Now, Audu, Aliyu, is trying to take a moral ground, but he kept perambulating about. All right? I mean, it would make sense to say somebody who is with Tifnumbu is now pleading the case of the opposition. So, on a moral ground, Tifnumbu cannot be preaching liberalize the economy, which means everybody is free, it's a free for all, you do what, you know what I mean? And then be monopolizing politics. So that seems pedestrian for anybody to resign off. But there are people that will say, oh yeah, on a moral ground, I don't feel comfortable being in such cycle of people. So I decided to resign. Because I could, with a Wike, be controlling APC and PDP in River States, and at the same time controlling APC and maybe PDP too in FCT. And then Tifnumbu is supporting him. So it sounds like a moral challenge. When someone feels morally challenged and they are like, no, I can't pretend this is normal. But Baba, you collected appointment from a drug dealer. Abba, now. Let's be real now, please now. I beg. A certificate forger. With all the evidence, yourself as a true Muslim, you campaigned for a drug baron. Probably in the name of your party, you know, like they will say, we have to do it in the name of our party. But the APC implosion is near. And that is why people like this, because Charles actually pressed him further, you know, like pressed him further to say, oh, no. That is not really, I mean, I don't buy that alone. There must be other things. Like, how would you access the government that you are part of in 2 years? Alaye realized that They are spending more money on propaganda. They are plotting and planning propaganda than actually governing the country. Propaganda that makes them look good on paper. Shine things. But you are there when they are planning them. They send you to go and do some. They send you to TV, onto the TV to go and lie to the people. Again, you will say on the moral ground, that how can I continue to be part of this when we have serious problems? The problem you are seeing today, they've always been there. APC came and they make it worse. People protested because of increase in fuel price. People have been protested the increase in fuel price since 1992. When I was a little boy, I've been seeing people protesting for one thing or another, going on strike. People protest because their salary are not paid, all that stuff. But when we get to 2015, Nigeria was then dealing with what seemed to be a fresh problem at the national scale. Terrorism, Boko Haram terrorism. Nigeria has the resources to detect and discover and arrest and prosecute and jail the sponsor of terrorism in Nigeria. The corruption that has contributed hugely to the poverty, basket in Nigeria can be curtailed. No society will say they are 100% without corruption. But sane society always have what they call punitive measure. When you are caught in any means of violating the law, you go down for it. That's what you don't have in that place. So the political will to be able to do that is what was missing and still missing. Boko Haram came. It did not only legitimize, or should I say industrialize, terrorism in Nigeria. Like they actually turned the terrorism industry in Nigeria to a multi-billion dollars industry under Boko Haram. Then he added the extra, ISWAP, then added more, Fulani terrorists. So all of these things are there. The economy was already like in the tank. Boko Haram printed times 500 of the amount of money that the Central Bank of Nigeria has ever printed in its entire history in 8 years. True story. From 1970. From 1970 to 2015, the Central Bank of Nigeria gave total loan of, listen to me, total loan of 1.6 trillion naira to the federal government of Nigeria. 1970, 98, 1990, 2010, 2020, 2025. 55 years, right? Now remove 10. 45 years of Central Bank of Nigeria giving loan to the federal government of Nigeria. Different governments, even under military, where they emptied everywhere. Central Bank of Nigeria gave 1.2 trillion loan. But under Boko Haram in 80 years, the Central Bank of Nigeria printed 27.5 trillion naira and gave it to Boko Haram, $50 billion. Nigeria naira became a tissue paper, right? So all these things were existing. And Tinubu, that they told you, had been preparing for 30 years to be Nigeria president. He was there too. He said all the nonsense. Those Tinubu appointed, they are Nigerians, Abi. They are aware of all of these problems. What did Tinubu do? He has now made it worse. And it's going to get worse. But they are telling people that, no. It's going to look like that, but don't worry. But Audu, who is an insider, is not convinced. Watch this part.
APC. Do you think that your position, because you resigned, that you've now taken sides against the president, is no longer tenable in the APC? Because, you're pointing fingers at Wike for being in another party and working with President Tinubu, but you are in the APC and working against President Tinubu. I mean, do you think that's a bit fresh?
No, it's not. Let's explain. I'm not working against the
well,
president.
you've said many times that you are determined to ensure that he doesn't
be elected.
Yeah, he doesn't win the election. That's working against him.
No, I'm not working against him. That's his first step in building the kind of future I want to have for my generation and those behind us. You see, those in President Tinubu's generation, they set after them. They can do the rubbish they're doing. Yes, and I mean it. They can do the rubbish they're doing. They are comfortable with the mediocrity, but we are not. And the fact is, see, we are building. If he makes himself an obstacle in what we are building, he's over 70. He's not anymore a shareholder or a stakeholder in this country than the rest of us. Let me tell you what former President Buhari told us in 2013 when we had to pay him a visit under the leadership of Barrister Ismail Ahmed. That was at the early stage of the formation of the APC. It had not even been formed formally. You know, we knew there was going to be an all, there was going to be an progressive, and you know, with Barrister Ismail Ahmed leading the way, we had a movement called All Progressive Youth Forum. You know, most of us were people who came out of the occupied Nigeria in 2012. It wasn't because we didn't like Jonathan. It wasn't because we hated him. It was because we were desirous of a better nation and he wasn't doing the right thing. 85 or more of the people I grew up with are no longer in this country. They are all abroad. They are my mates. They are intelligent set of people. They are brilliant set of people.
And they are people who could be contributing to this country.
They were working I worked with MTN. I was a mid-level manager in MTN. They were at that level too. These are people who, they liquidated their business, sold their houses, sold their cars. At what? To be able to wash plates overseas. And we think it is okay that we have a set of people who want to sit on our yesterday, sit on our today, and steal our tomorrow. No, it's not okay. It's not.
Well, I'm impressed with
your and let me say it clearly that the very essence of progressivism is contestation of ideas and thoughts and reasoning. Even within the party itself, my membership of the party was at my instance, not at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's like he cannot determine my membership of the APC. It's not up to him. It's not his call. What he could approve was my appointment, which he approved, you know, over 2 months or nearly about that, after the nomination by the his former spokesperson, Ajuri. So I have given him back that. But what I do with my membership of the party, it's not up to him, because I started doing that. Part of what I did led to his emergence. You know, when a set of people in the party brought in you remember, I was here a couple of times. I mean, the APC rebellion started then, when we felt there were things not going right. I was a member of the committee. I was promised a land. It was taken because I refused to change my position. It is not I walked away from a good paying job to do this. It is nothing new.
Right.
I'm not saying I am doing this. I'm saying we can all decide. First thing first, let's be very intentional about the country we want to build. Then be very intentional about what our challenges are. Then be very intentional about what we can do to fix it. Then start to do it.
And are there many more people like you within the APC?
As we speak, 80% of every card-carrying member who were responsible for his re-election, for his election. Let me tell you, the people who voted for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu were card-carrying members of the APC who didn't want to see APC lose. They were not people who were paid.
And now?
They are aggrieved. They are inside, but they are unhappy with
it. So they're working from within against him.
They are just waiting to see the light. People waited. Let's remember that by 2014, about 24 governors had endorsed former President Jonathan, but there were a lot of people who were inside there waiting for something to happen. Out of them, there was a G7, then there was a G5 eventually. I mean, then we saw what happened. The fact that everybody is going one way, is the sign of desperation should tell us, because whoever is at the other side knows that not everything is right. You know, and it's even more an attack on democracy, because you have governors who are supposedly doing well in their domain.
APC.
Interesting. So again, right, the guy is still taking the moral high ground on this, that, but if we pick from his words, right? Also, if we pick his words from, his sentences, he could then easily just maybe pick the right answer that he is not answering directly, right? But there is something there. So he said some of them are aggrieved from within. Some of them, 80% of those of them who worked for Tinubu, he himself worked with these northern groups, okay, to push Tinubu for president. And he got compensated for that. But according to him, he had a very good paying job. He actually joined because he wanted to see something different. Now let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he became disappointed. Enough that he said they are pretending that, yeah, the problem is there, but you know what? Let's just sidestep it and explain it away than to fix the problem. So those of them who are within the APC, now, majority of them, as he said, who worked against Egbe Rejulantan between 2014 and 2015, I'm talking about PDP now, right? Majority of them, they stayed within. They were moving along, they were dancing along, but around, it's like they kind of like formed a ring enough that when it was time for them to move, and just like that, the rest is history today. An average Ronuku, Lagos Sabo Baku, or Oshogbo Alimajiri will tell you that Tinubu is a strategist. Tinubu is not a Gberejolantan. So that makes it, in fact, interesting. Right? But Audu said the mediocrity that he met within the circle of Tinubu made him realize that, okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt for that too. So he's practically telling us that, you see, this issue of coalition or no coalition, right? It is an existential threat to whatever other plans that Tinubu already plotted and perfected. And it simply means, it is going to get even bloody, or maybe bloodier. Okay? Because from what I do know, when they formed their APC, Ebekebe, in 2014, they called something, they called it merger. And they called the groups or the parties that came together, they call them the, legacy parties, right? So who were there? You had the ACN, led by Tinubu. You had New PDP, with how many governors? I think 5 or 6 governors, PDP governors, including Rivers, and was it Adamawa or so then? Those ones were led by Atiku, Saraki, and one other, anyway, New PDP guys. While Bokwari led the likes of Malamu, Adisirika, even El Rufaya from CPC. Okorocha and some other, and some other guys. Was it Ogbonaya Onu? What party was Ogbonaya Onu before 2014 again? Please, I can't remember, but anyway, because he was very, very prominent in the registration of APC, by the way. ANPP, CPC. No, you remember that Bokwari initially did ANPP. But after 2010, sorry, after 2011, in fact, in 2011, he flagged CPC. If you remember, CPC, it was no longer with ANPP or BAPP then. Anyway, so Korosha came with APGA. Yeah, APGA. I think there is other one. They shall call themselves Legacy Party, right? And they formed APC, Egbekegbe. So, in the group, Atifku, Kwakwansop, Bokwari, they were like the front runners in their December 2014 convention in Lagos, where Tinubu and others were actually able to mobilize funds to pay delegates. And Bokwari emerged. They actually paid delegates, if I remember very correctly, $5,000. Atiku was sharing, I think they said Atiku was sharing for $5,000. Tinubu and the gang, they were sharing $2,500 or $3,000 or something. So that was how Bokwari emerged as their candidate. Meaning CPC group in APC emerged. Right? So they went into that election. They used everything they could. Intimidation threats, including the invitation of the Fulani terrorists. The Boko Haram were already active anyway, so they didn't need to add much. Now, Bokwari emerged. And like that, APGAO, New PDP, ACN of Tinubu, they chased them out of town, if you remember very well. They had to go and bring Tinubu back from France in 2018. A year before 2019, to go and do reconciliation. I don't know if some of you remember that. So in a nutshell, this Tinubu and his gang, they believed that they stood by the CPC Bokwari when they had power in APC. So instead of Bokwari to fulfill his promise, he decided to renege on that. But Tinubu fought. Now Tinubu is in charge. But the CPC of, Tinubu is in charge. So Tinubu says CN guys, most of them from Lagos, right? They are now the ones in charge of, not just government too, they are in charge of the party. Something that others like the CPC guys of Bokwari, where El Rufaya and Malamu and others belong to. So they already feel like, fish out of water. That they have been shortchanged, they have been cut off. It is only this Tinubu and his gang, ACN, that are now controlling everything, including the party. So what would then happen? They would have to move, but they won't move this time around as APC, this or no. They are proposing, no, we are going to make it like everybody just volunteer to come and join us. That's why he said, that is why he used Jonathan's analogy. That's part of conversation. That when it was time for them to move, they were just waiting. And once they got this, they move. I don't know if he belonged to the CPC of Bokwari, but majority of them are on the alert already. In fact, so many of them are expected to stay within the APC. Here you get, and destroy Tinubu from within. I don't know how it's going to play out, so don't get me wrong. And some are already saying this is also part of the reason why Gandola had to go. But how do you finish what you are saying? I'm listening.
Domain that are not originally APC, what has an Akwa Ibom got changing loyalty? What has Delta got changing loyalty? What impact has APC ever made in Delta or Akwa Ibom?
Do you think that's all those defections are going to have a negative impact on the APC?
It's going to have a negative impact on our existence, on democracy, if we don't stop it now.
Right. But on the APC specifically,
oh yes,
you're getting all these new people.
Oh yes, I have spent 12 years as a member of the APC, and I'll probably like to give it a shot again to run for local government chairman in Amak. But Mekalangu, the current chairman who was in PDP, has been taken to the national chairman by Wike to direct the state chairman of the APC in Abuja to register him as a member of the APC, and he told the sitting local government chairman in Amak that if he was to be re-elected, he he should switch to APC because Wike will ensure that there is no national secretary for the party to sign your nomination form before INEC. Knowing that is an essential part of your nomination. This is the same thing he's telling all the other governors. This is why they are running.
So it sounds like the APC is starting to implode.
Of course, because you are bringing someone to sit on my head. I mean, the queue grows from the tail. So you are growing the queue from the head.
And a lot of your focus is on, I mean, you're talking about the undermining of democratic values.
That's it.
And you're citing the relationship between Nyesom Wike and the president.
Unholy.
And I mean, just tell us a bit more about how you think that's at odds with democratic values.
If you want to run a government of national unity, it's the institution. You can't build institution while you're destroying one. PDP is an institution whether we like it or not. APC is an institution. Labour Party is an institution. You cannot say we're going to build a Federal Republic of Nigeria is an institution. We need an institution that is bigger than individual, that is bigger than all of us. I mean, Trump won from the outside. He tried to mess up the institution. He was thrown out. But he won again. That shows you the fairness and the stability of an institution. We should aim to build that, not idolize an individual. He might have been the best yesterday. Doesn't mean he has to be the best today. Even if he is, he doesn't have to be the best tomorrow. I mean, the difference between Lagos State, whom has been under the control of the president, and the next best state is so wide that we should be concerned at why others are not catching up. This is the reason why they are not catching up.
Right. So, I mean, you said you're working against the president.
I'm working against his re-election.
His re-election. So who are you going to work for in 2027?
The God will provide that at the point.
But you haven't made up your mind
Like
yet.
I've told every single one of them who, I mean, we should not be about who will be the next president. We should be about what we expect to see in the next president. Then we look at ourselves and see who is the best among. We don't have to look for the perfect person. We just need to look for the best among us that is going to be answerable to us. There's going to be a transparency tag in the next president. We've got to be able to assess you. I worked for president for nearly 2 years. I didn't have a sit down with him. I'm one of his spokesperson. But he sat with Davido, who insulted him a couple of weeks before then. He sat with Jandor, who didn't even come second in Lagos election. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
And is there anything in the works for you with the opposition coalition, for example? I mean, are you talking to them?
The coalition is essential, but the real determinant of the future are the young people. We are taking our future. We are taking it. It's not by protest. It's not by not. We are organizing ourselves. It's silent, but it's massive.
Yeah, but you have to do it. I mean, if you're setting your sights on the presidency, for example, or whatever position it is, elected office, it has to come through a party.
We will adopt the party. We could even do it from the APC. It will be a good record for Mr. President,
right,
to say that he conducted a free, fair primary that he won or didn't win, or conducted oversaw a free and fair general election that he won or didn't win.
Well, do you expect him to do that?
Oh yeah, he's the Democrat.
Do you believe he's going to do that?
He should do that.
Did he do that in 2023, in your assessment?
It wasn't up to him. He was a contender.
Right.
He wasn't.
But now he's in the driver's seat.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it starts from given the independence that he asked for when he was in the opposition in INEC. He has to give them that, and he has to be not just. He has to wholeheartedly give them that, and majority of Nigerians need to believe that there is independence. Then he has to ensure that internal democracy is entrenched in the APC, starting with the removal of Ganduje, who he imposed.
Ganduje is the chairman of the APC.
Yes, that position for the past 2 years belonged to North Central, where I am from. Ganduje is from Northwest. The leadership of National Assembly could have gone round the 6th geopolitical zone. We have the Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, we have the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, then you bring the Executive, the Vice, the President and the Vice. This top six position should have been fair for the 6th geopolitical zone. But the President is from Southwest, the Vice is from the Northeast, the Speaker, the Senate President is from the south, the deputy is from northwest, the speaker is from northwest. Again, nothing for North Central. Then the chairman that is North Central by right, you've taken it to give another Northwest person. That's not democracy. Anybody, whether a leader or a follower, who does not prioritize fairness, no matter how intelligent or how powerful it is, should not be in a driver's seat. It's simple as that. All of the injustice, all of the crimes, all of the Boko Haram, the IPOP, these are all symptoms of injustice. If the head of the country embodies injustice, there is nothing we will do. We won't have a right. There's got to be fairness. There's got to be. You are the leader. You are the one they look at first when they want to look at the nation. How am I looking at you and I'm looking at the person who isn't only satisfied with defeating his opponent, but want to ensure he does not exist again? How does that inspire me as a kid? How am I supposed to think it's okay that the kid who I play football with, should do better so I can do better so we challenge again tomorrow?
Well, let me say to you that your conviction.
We are a poor nation. The bank code will follow. They say firewood, not smoke. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, shine it, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. They're doing. If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it's a successful again, a town hall, different from Blue Bulaba. That transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn. That transmit. I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of what I do.
Again, Audu campaigned for that. Audu mobilized young people for that. Audu sweated and fought people for that. 2 years into his appointment, Audu realized that Tinubu should not decide about his future and the future of other young people, because Tinubu will not feature in the future, is planning for them. Audu eats the buyer's remorse in less than 2 years. Who is Audu? Ladies and gentlemen, Audu be like,
I'm move past you. You know, I'm reach me, guy. I swear to God, that talk, I'm move past you. I'm move past you, gege. I'm move past you. Ask anybody. See, you go argue this thing, but I swear to God, I'm move past you. You don't see where they move before. Me, gege. I'm move past you. I'm move past you. You know, I'm reach me.
And like a dead clock, do you know a dead clock will be right twice in a day, in the AM and in the PM? from some of the points Audu raised as, the reason why he believes that Tinubu should go, and they are working seriously on that. In his point, he said, look at Lagos. A visionary leader would want to create that kind of Lagos economy across Nigeria. For instance, opening up the other parts of Nigeria, says seaports, upgrading them, constructing modern seaports in these areas, and create economic life in these areas. People have been talking about it all the time. Politicians have been talking about it for decades. But none of them has the political will to do it, and we know why. So let us pretend about that one. I think we do know why. So, Tinubu has no plan to make other places be like Lagos. So, what kind of visionary leader is that, according to Audu? And Audu is more concerned as well about the equity, fairness in sharing political offices, like they have it in the APC. But he's happy that Gandola has now been removed for another person. So some are saying that Tinubu is cleaning the house. Others are saying that because he couldn't trust a lot of them anymore, right? While others are saying that the memo is already out. In the next few weeks, a lot of interesting things will happen. A lot of it. And that's why we are documenting that here tonight. So Gandola was kicked out, Gandola is kicked out by Tinubu, according to the insider. So, in order for Tinubu to possibly be able to cut the people of the North Central, there are others who believes that Gandola is kicked out in preparation to make him Tinubu's running mate. But there is also that part where Shitty Man is also being rumored that it will be replaced by Tinubu. So in all of this, you begin to kind of see some kind of, all these guys realigning, in a way that people are now beginning to call out those who might want to be part of those who want to remove Tinubu in 2027. So the coalition guys are currently in a dilemma. From what I heard, here. So, for example, the confusion of, is Peter Obi going to join their coalition, or is he going to go it alone? That conversation, or the conversation around that, is now trending, right? But we'll get there. Saraki was with Charles too, Okay, hang on, before I even move to that. There's also another point that this guy also raised, in case I am not the only person who heard it, because we all heard it, right? And it is the part where the reason why people are joining Tinubu, especially from PDP, as well as even your Labour Party too, as much as people have already suspected that these guys are being blackmailed because they are criminals too. But there's a very sort of like a fundamental one of the reason why they are moving, especially those ones from PDP. When Aliyu said, Werewike told a local government, candidate of PDP that he will ensure that PDP doesn't have secretary. And since there will be no secretary to sign your INEC forms, so obviously you would not want to remain in PDP if you want to contest the election, right? So could this be, and this is not the first time I'm hearing that. In fact, it is the third time, okay? The first person that first muted that same statement was Sheriff, the Delta governor that decamped. He said, PDP is in disarray. And there are many of them that their political career will be destroyed if they remain in PDP, because they don't want to wait till 2027 to now realize that there will be nobody to sign their forms in order to run in an election, right? So that's why they left. This guy from Akwa Ibom, the orange man from Akwa Ibom, that one also said the same thing, that for their own political future, they won't remain in the party when nobody or INEC will reject them because the wrong person signed their application. They will win election and lose it in court. So that Wike is intentionally ensuring that this issue of a secretary, Anyanwu as secretary, or other person as secretary that they have been pushing all this while, is one very big, what do you call it, whip that Wike has been using on behalf of Tinubu. No wonder that Wike seems so powerful. He's doing a human job, a kind of a actual job that, mafians does. Like you say, the only mafians do this kind of job. That's mental. It's not about corruption, though. Maybe that one is just extra, right? Anyway, here is what Sarah Konda had to say.
Well, we really didn't know the details of that reconciliation. I think the details will determine how it affects positively or negatively. I guess for the people of Rivers State, most is positive, the fact that there's reconciliation. But how it affects the political parties, I think will come in the details of what that is about.
Right, and I was going to ask you, what do you think they agreed on to achieve this peace? But you've kind of answered that. But I'm wondering if the PDP is possibly looking at another defection to the APC.
Well, at this time, I said before in my just open discussions that PDP would likely see, one or two more defections, and we should prepare ourselves for that. There is a possibility.
You mean including Fubara?
Maybe or maybe not. Maybe Fubara, maybe others. I said, as I speak to some of our colleagues, as we sit down and plan and strategize, we say, look, the worst is not yet. We haven't seen the worst of the defections for PDP. We'll probably see maybe one or two governors still defect. We might see some senators defect. But the long-term perspective for us, when you go around the country, the state chapters, the local government chapters, the party is still very strong on the grassroots. In some areas in the country, they're not even aware of what is happening at, suppose say, our level or in Abuja. And so the reaction we've seen at the grassroots, it gives us a lot of encouragement. But what we need to do is, let us get to the bottom and then start to build.
Yeah, but the problem is that it's not just happening in Abuja, though, is it? Yeah. I mean, when you look at the entire state, apparatus of the PDP defecting, for example, from Delta State, and then you look at,
Yeah, what I mean by that is they're not
at the grassroots.
No, they're not crises they're not crises based on instability in Delta State chapters. That's what I mean. They are things that are led based on decisions taken by the leaders. That's the point I'm making. That it is not that the foundation is weak in those places. Like if you see people defecting in a particular state because there's crisis in that state, and members of the state don't want to work together anymore. Where you're seeing defections based on leaders for what reason best known to them, it's top down, not, and that's why you're seeing in some states the leaders are saying we're going, and you're seeing some of the grassroots members say, look, I've been PDP all my life. I've been PDP for 10, 20 years. I don't understand what you're saying. But out of the politics that there's deference to our leaders, some are going. But you're still hearing rumblings where people say, look, our leaders want us to go. Why? We've been PDP, or PDP has done so much for us in our state. As you said, PDP has impacted on the economy, PDP has impacted on some of the things we have seen. So I don't know why we're going, but they are leaders. So we go. That's what I mean by it's top bottom as opposed to bottom up.
Well, you have a point there, although to some extent, some would say considerable extent, a lot of the people who are defecting en masse. I mean, they tend to be the majority, the defectors, and then those who stay back are in the minority.
As of today, as you all know, we're 2 years, still a long way before election.
You expect them to defect back to the PDP?
Might not be probably defect, but there's still some things that are going to happen in a lot of the states before that.
Right.
That's our view, and that's why for some of us, this happening early in PDP is an advantage. If we're lucky that this is not happening in, let's say, late 2026, we will not even have had time to recover, regroup. We have 2 years to election, just under 2 years to election, and we're lucky to have that. And I think we are with a lot of commitment and a lot of understanding for us to understand that, look, it is not a lost cause. A party of over 26 years of history, who has been around, as you said, largest party. Yes, we will definitely have low times like this. All over the world, when you study political histories, political parties go through periods like this. They lose 2 elections back to back, and people begin to question the party. But people don't abandon the party.
But that's what they're doing.
Yeah. So, but that's some of them say, no, it's not time for us to abandon. Or people say, oh, PDP is dead. No, it's not. We are the people that need to work hard and rebuild. It is not impossible. History has shown political parties have come up from having those kind of challenges. And when you're in opposition,
it is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian.
Sarakonda, it was neither here nor there, but his own point as an experienced politician is that indeed they have problems, and maybe everybody that wants to go should just go, so they can count how many people remain and then maybe regroup. But PDP is dead. PDP can never have access to power in that contraption anymore. Do you understand? Or maybe they will change their name. I am saying this simply because when you look at the characters that sort of like populate their party, right from the days of Oban Paro, right? So the old man. It's always been selfish, self-centeredness, and then greed, right? And it seems that majority of them sees the PDP as, a means to an end where they could access power and to move on. So it is what it has become, and it is what it will remain as. APC's implosion is because they are still having access to, to the people's money. The moment their own implosion happens now, it's going to, in fact, be worse than that of the PDP. The end of APC, Egbekegbe, if care is not taken, will also be the end of Nigeria. I have my reasons. Because you see, these ones in APC, their own greed and their own way is, if they can't have it, then nobody should have it. I have seen people say, you see all these things, it is because the people are not organized, the people are not united yet. The day that the people find something that will eventually make them say, enough is enough, this tribal, ethnic, religious, this and that, will not be enough to hold them back. Well, that is promising. I've heard that many times. And to be honest, I am also hopeful for that. But until then, you will realize that, or maybe, when the people's interest indeed clashes with their own interest, and of course, the people, you would expect the people to win if they remain resolute and united, Abi. That is the point I'm making, that these guys, they are willing and ready to take Nigeria down with them. And that would be probably prayer answered, in my own view. So, Gandola being sacrificed for something bigger, and the expected reaction from their supposed North, the permutation, the alignments, the realignments are all ongoing right now. It is about 20 months, plus or minus, no, not plus, minus or exact. It's about 20 months to your 2027 charade. And to some, Tinubu and his gang have perfected what it is going to be like. And as we speak, they are setting what is called the stage for it. That everybody would have to play by their rules, by the way they want you to play by. I mean, you know, but it shouldn't be so. So the conversation right now around this, their coalition talk or no coalition talk, the possibility and the rest of that people have been spewing everywhere and all that, is that for every of their coalition talk, Peter Obi's name keeps, you know, popping up. You know, Peter Obi, Atiku, no, Amechi, Rufai. The different names have been like being kind of like touted everywhere. But for every of those names they have been mentioned, there is always that Peter Obi. But in reality, it is believed that Peter Obi is not, should I say, is neither with nor without this coalition thing. It is also believed that he hasn't even given them his position. Like, I am going to be part of it. Currently, Abure and others, they are holding Labour Party. And in fairness, Peter Obi knew, especially you, the obedient, banking on the last Supreme Court judgment, all right, which is interpreted as, you know, Nenandi Usman is the acting chairman of Labour Party, right? Meanwhile, Abure and his gang are also interpreting the Supreme Court judgment as Abure remained the chairman. So in this confusion, so you are not sure if Peter Obi is going to be allowed to run on Labour Party. It's not certain now. And even if they choose to, the saboteurs or those who are ready to sabotage him are no longer wearing masks. They are in the open. So in all of this, so a lot of people are pretty much, or should I say a lot of people? Well, a lot of people are trying to understand where is Peter Obi in all of this. He's talking tough. He's everywhere. He hasn't said if he's going to run for any presidency or not. And since he hasn't said anything like that, so you can just easily just associate him with the Labour Party and say, okay, he's in Labour Party. But understanding all these other factors, right, that will make you then be like, oh, that's a problem. Presently, those who became what? Because of the obedient wave, majority of them have decamped to APC as we speak. The obedient movement themselves, as I can confirm, have been creating their own representatives in, you know, different local government areas and the rest of that, in such a way that, according to them, they are preparing a structure that will not only mobilize for Obi, a structure that will stand, defend, and protect Obi's vote. So, in that regard, so they are giving this, they are giving this vibe of Obi can go it alone. But there are those who are, you know, political analysts and observers who believes that if Obi tries that, Tinubu won't have to do much. He should just go ahead with his plan because that simply gives him a bit of a leverage they want him to say something like join their coalition. Now, joining coalition on his own, from the publicly available info, joining the coalition itself may end up pitting Peter Obi against his own base. Because there are those who are from the middle belt part of Nigeria who believes that associating with El Rufai to help El Rufai gain access back to power, corridors of power, could actually spell doom for the people of Southern Kaduna and the people of the middle belt. So because of their experience with El Rufai, Obi should not associate with him. So, and if he ended up having to go into a coalition that El Rufai is involved, they will cut their relationship. This one, those who have said that they have been called emotionally weak people, because in politics, it is the good, the bad, the ugly. The good, the bad, the ugly. The guy who is responsible for illegal arrest, illegal trial, illegal detention of thousands of Nigerians who spoke against Boko Haram, the same guy who pushed different other agendas, including the agendas to give the Fulani terrorists a leeway, a freedom after murdering thousands of Nigerians. So the good, the bad, the ugly. So you would have to deal with that. So there are those who are obedient, who feels like, but others says, hey, don't be too emotional. Don't be a baby, man. In politics, you have to mix with everybody if you want to. Now, that's a dilemma. You may admit it, you may not admit it. The one thing there is that there are people who feel concerns. And I want to pretend that this possibly is the reason why Obi is not forthcoming to say he is part of this or that, except for those who are speaking for him. He's intelligent. He has some information that all of you don't have, this and that. Baba, you have 20 months to challenge the monster that is about to send everybody back to slavery in a very, very, harsh way. So it will be ideal to actually make your supporters know where is it going to be like. But others said, did you not see that in 9 months he defeated Tinubu and the system? That's where David Hundeyin comes in. David, his own way, right? So it was pretty much like firing everybody to say, this is not a joke. This is a life and death thing. Your future, this and that. And he's already painted what it is going to end up like once Tinubu gets his second term. So if you have to work with even Satan, I'm not talking about the Satan of Sokoto, but the main Satan, David Hundeyin doesn't mind, because Tinubu, a CIA covert psyop or something in Nigeria, who is working with the West and other enemies of the people to help put Nigeria in a 40-year-long kind of like Israeli-Egypt kind of experience in the Bible, So he feels like Tinubu, number one, shouldn't have had power. Now that he has the power, everybody should actually do everything. That no matter the evil you see, or no matter, you get David, but many others disagrees. But again, these are people who are going to end up, you get, pulling whatever kind of like agenda and advocacy enough to get rid of Tinubu, as So they're asking Peter Obi to say it now. Others are saying, no, don't force him. You get, leave him alone. And when they see Obi with these guys, there are some of them, this particular picture, by the way, like if you are a Biafran, you won't like Obi. And I kind of understand. So you get, that's the guy that organized and submitted fake intel to Kenya in order for them to help him kidnap Nnamdi Kanu. Now they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu and then bundled him to Nigeria to violate international law. So somebody like that is a criminal. He is not just a criminal who used his position to persecute Nigerians. Do you know how many Nigerians who are still languishing in prison right now because of that Malamu, because of this guy? Yeah? But I said it before. If you are an obedient that is asking for one Nigeria, as much as to people like us is a delusion. So people like us see you as somebody who is deluded. But hang on, your delusion sometimes can possibly, lead to something even more, promising. Because in the state of that, your ignorance, all right, there's a chance that you have the seizable number to overrun these criminals who can automatically what's that called again? Like, kind of overlook whatever potential you may have, kind of downgrade you and all. It's all good. It all plays well. But I also said that in your course of wanting for your one Nigeria and all that, you would have to end up supporting the same criminals that committed horrible crimes against you. And what are these horrible crimes? One of them is that of the NSAS. For those who remember that time very well, people who are responsible for that should never be seen in a room with people who are saying they want to redeem Nigeria. But here you are. People who are responsible for funding terrorists, rehabilitating them, renaming villages that are invaded by terrorists. Somebody like El Rufaya and co. It shouldn't be in any room at all. It should be in prison. But in your course of looking for one better Nigeria, you would have to stand up and defend El Rufaya. So me, I'm used to that kind of switch among all of you. But the reason why I think, this may be the time that the entire thing we shall, go up in smoke. So something must probably lead to that. So at the end of the day, the people you called criminals, destroyers of that contraption, you are going to have to line behind them because, as they say, you all have common enemy now. And that common enemy is Tinubu. So now let's see how far they can get rid of him. Whatever the theory is, though. Now let's leave that for a second. Just for a second. Sorry, I found this one, the Gandola stuff. Have you seen this? It's a picture, though. It's also AI.
No be Gadu's video. No be Gadu's video. No be Gadu's video.
So I saw that somebody used their AI to get to get that into a motion picture. Now, Omoyele Sowore have started another campaign in his own kind of like a usual way. Okay, he's had the history of the police brutality against him severally, and somehow they still choose to begin a process called the police protest, right? Police pension protest. Lately, Sowore has been meeting with some of the retired police officers who served for over 3 decades, 35 years, and they were being paid a severance package of $1,500. A campaign that, among hundreds of his advocacy, right? Police must be paid better money. The same policemen protecting the criminal politicians. And he shared the stories of few of them. Here is one. This one is an old man.
Baba, da fatan kana lafiya. Sannu. Muna buƙatar sanin sunanka kuma waye kai.
Suna Sambo Bello.
Na'am. Daga wani ma'aikata?
Daga Nigerian Police, retired 2014.
Ka yi ritaya a wani matsayi ne?
I'm the inspector.
Inspector na ɗan sanda kenan. So lokacin da ka yi ritaya a wannan tun daga lokacin zuwa yanzu shekara 10 kenan da ya ritayan ka. To a shekara 11 nan da ka yi ritaya, shin nawa ne aka baka kuɗin gratuitin ka, sannan kuma nawa ne ake biyan ka pension?
Yanzu an ba da tunawa 2,200,000. Kuma pension na za a jana 20,000.
20,000 duk wata kenan ake baka a matsayin pension. Tun daga lokacin akwai wani kuɗi da su wayannan ma'aikata na Fencom suke cewa za su baka ne ko kuma?
Babu, ba wani kuɗi suka bayar.
Ba wani kuɗi. Iya kawai wancan da aka baka shikenan, ba za a sake baka wani kuɗi ba. Kuma haka kake rayuwa. To kun ji dai. Wannan tsohon inspector ne dan sanda wanda ya aiki tukuru wa ƙasa na shekara 35 yana aiki a wannan ƙasa ba dare ba rana. So a yau na zo muna interview da shi ga abin da yake faɗa, kuna ji da bakin ku. To wannan irin su suna nan ba su da adadi, suna nan da yawa a cikin al'umma wayanda aka zalunce su, an zalunce su, an yar musu da hakkokin su, an ki a tallafa musu. Suna nan da yawa waɗanda suna irin wannan hali. Sannan ku ne waɗanda za ku sake jajircewa a matsayin ku ne 'yan ƙasa, waɗanda za ku jajirce ku faɗa wa waɗannan tsofi, waɗannan dattijai waɗanda suka sadaukar da rayuwarsu na shekara 35. Allah Ubangiji ya ba mu nasara, ya ba mu iko.
He was a police officer for 35 years. He retired in 2015, 10 years ago. And upon retirement, they paid him $2,200. No, sorry. $1,500, which is equivalent to 2.2 million. 2.2 million naira. But look at him on that one. They said he's a retired inspector of police. Is that a high rank? You know, you have the Kuruntu. And then you have, I don't know, what about their ranks, right? 35 years. And they have been paying him Naira Goma. Shida Goma. Goma is 10. It's like they are paying him 10,000 Naira every month for his pension. 35 years. Can't be like person we don't mad for 35 years. Police officer in northern part of Nigeria. I just seen somebody who is a retired police officer. We can't look like this. Maybe say they don't mad. Like he's been mad for like maybe 40 years or something. Say, how long have you been mad? Say, it's been a long time. Oh. Really? Wow. So I've been mad for. I first started madness. I first mad in 35 years. Wow, that's some experience. So somebody who served as a police officer, you don't have to be very rich, but you should be able to have a moderate pension that should be able to take care of him, but not in Nigeria. There's another one. That one too served 35 years. They gave him 2.4 million.
Good morning, everyone. I am retired DSP from the Nigerian Police Force. I retired last year. Just last week, I received a text from the Trust Fund pension that I should come and they have received my bond. I should come and apply for my benefit. On reaching there, they give me consent form to sign, which I saw they listed my benefit. One, my gratuity is 2,070,000 naira. Second, the arrears, my 9-month arrears, 9 months, is 368,000 naira. And my monthly pension is 46,055 kobo. The whole total they are to give me is 2.4 million naira. 2.4 million naira, the whole total. And the monthly pension is 46,055 kobo. I don't even know. I don't have to say much, but I only want to flip. I want to feel it to the Mr. President, our President. Good morning, everyone.
It's coming. So police officers, and you know we don't like police here. It is not because you in particular as a police officer that you've done anything to me or anybody on this platform, but we know you are working in a system that you are hurting people every day, to the point that while you are hurting them, you are even thinking you are doing them a favor. You call yourself a good police officer. I mean, I'm a good police officer. Or the rest of my team, they be, those ones, they know they, but I'm the only one that, you see, I'm the one that is always calming them down. Something you tell yourself that you are you are good. We don't like policemen. But that doesn't mean that a failed system that they themselves have been protecting, unfortunately, which is their own share of, may Nigeria not happen to you, may Nigeria not happen to you, Nigeria happened to them in the way that they spend their lives protecting the criminal politicians, protecting their own interest. Whether these ones participated or not, it doesn't matter. It is the collective institution that is built on the blood of innocent people in that contraption. So we can say our mind and at the same time call out a system that treats them like that at the end of the day, because it is the same system that treat everybody the same, treat everyone like piece of rag, even worse. So you, a police officer who knows that your pension will likely not be paid, and if it's paid, inflation would have taken everything off. Do you know that if that 46,000 naira pension is collecting every month, if this was the economy that Bokwari handed to Tinubu, that 46,000 naira will be over the minimum wage. And the value of it in today's Nigerian naira, 46,000 naira in today's value, to start with, is over 160,000 naira. And, or should I say, it should be paid 160,000 naira, which in today's value is the 2 years ago's value is 46,000 naira. But inflation has finished it in his hand. If he falls sick like that, or if he is on any kind of a life-saving medication, he will soon die, because that money can't feed him, not to talk of paying for his medication and all that. And there are millions of them in that category that Nigeria is dealing with like that. Not just police, you see military, you see retired. It's horrible. It is a system that continue to breed criminals. I mean, what do you expect now? As a police officer, you are a police officer working in Nigeria. You have been a police officer for 2 years. And you are looking at a man that's served for 35 years. Your salary and whatever it is they are giving to you, you are going to end up, because in 35 years' time, maybe they would have increased your emolument or your pension maybe to 5 million naira in 35 years' time. 5 million naira. But the inflation there probably is like a 1,000%, that your 5 million naira will have a value of a 200,000 naira of today. Because it is what these criminal politicians are capable of doing. Their actions are not only dealing with those who are here now. The actions of these criminals also deal a terrible, terrible damage, on those who are still coming. Generations who they have not born right now, There are some people today, see, there are some children that they have given birth to today in Nigeria. But probably 80 to 90% of them have no idea what is waiting for them. So you and I who are here now, we can easily project what life will be like for the coming generation in Nigeria if things continue like this. So that should worry you. It should, because it worries me. It worries me. And that's why I want a lot of us also to kind of feel like that. The system that somehow today, because somehow you are getting crumbs from their table. You know the implication of all of their actions. But because of the crumbs you are getting from their table or the promise of it, you decided to help them to continue to sabotage a system that will eventually come to punish you later. They give you guns, they don't pay you well. You've seen those colleagues of yours who have sustained serious injuries enough that they seemed abandoned by the system that they are willing and ready. In fact, they are ordered to protect and defend. I don't know who is listening to me right now. And I don't even know if I'm speaking to a certain part of you. As it is, you are somebody that exists in a chaotic system. There are criminals who are benefiting from it, would love it to remain so. You're putting your life on the line for criminals who would never move a limb to save yours. So you're obligated to protect them, protect their loot, protect those around them, and then, protect them from the danger. And what is the danger they want you to protect them from? They're not asking you to protect them from the terrorists. They're asking you to protect them from the people they stole from you. So it's up to you. Imagine somebody who is subjected to the kind of welfare and treatment that these guys have subjected their own armed forces to. Yet they still gave them gun. Imagine the audacity, giving guns to the people you are starving, people you are stealing from. So don't wait till your old age, Joe. Somebody asked a question earlier. If Sowore will be running for president in 2027, well, the answer is yes. Yeah. He is currently the AAC national chairman. They tried to hijack his party from him. If you remember, Sowore started his own political party because he doesn't want to have anything to do with all of these guys. So it's like sometimes some of us also misses that. When you talk about opposition and the coalition in Nigeria, yeah, we shouldn't be kind of like naming Sowore in the same sentence with them. Sowore's action, right? That some of us feels like, they are like excessive and whatever it is, like you've described. It's like we are the one missing the point. And I'm saying it now because somebody mentioned it in the comments. If Sowore wanted to be part of these guys, like Peter Obi, believes that the good, the bad, the ugly is what it's going to take to challenge somebody like Tinubu. But at the same time, his condition is that if it's just for power, then he's not going to be interested. Anyway, Sowore wouldn't have anything to do with them. He would not have anything to do with them. He went on to go and register his own political party. It was an effort, right? Called the AAC. Very at the top of their voters' ballot paper. So he is their chairman right now, but is likely going to resign as the acting chairman or not chairman. He will resign, then they can be the candidate. So he will go alone. He will go it alone, right? So when you're talking about those who are talking about one Nigeria, so we should possibly just separate Sowore from the flock, you know, I think. And if he can, you know, if he can pull his weight again this time, somebody said he can't pull his weight when people are not backing him. Others are saying, well, to those of you who are the one Nigerians who want to participate in their charade, you can easily just pull your weight behind Sowore too. However, some of them have also openly said his utterances is, you know, his utterances in particular, especially the every now and then that he keeps calling out Peter Obi, makes him alienate those who might admire, you know, him from him. So anyway, just for the mention, because there are so many things that Omoyele Sowore is doing, and so many of them are actually fighting for people that we almost don't talk about. You get what I mean? So once in a while like that, it is always better to promote, you know, what he is doing. But in the political space, it seems everybody is picking their sides now. And as they matter, we'll bring them up onto Maiyegun's diary political. So it is believed that as the northern Nigeria or the northern politicians, their allies and answers, whatever, right? As they are grouping to get rid of Tinubu in 2027, the same Tinubu is building a very strong alliance in the south, especially southeast in Igbo land. Here is Kalu, not the other Kalu, not the ex-convict, the other one, reminding the Igbos that Tinubu has created Southeast Development Commission, which will now build and rebuild the entire Igbo land. Do you believe that? Yeah, he created an association. No, not association. Southeast Development Commission. He created that too. But Kalu says, anyway.
He has provided the law to reconstruct Igbo land, to reconcile Igbo land, to rehabilitate Igbo land. Igbo.
I'm move past you. You know I'm more rich me guy. I swear to God that talk I'm move past you. I'm move past you, Gege. I'm move past you. Ask anybody. See, you go argue this thing, but I swear to God I'm move past you. You don't see how they move before. Me Gege, I'm move past you. I'm move past you. You know I'm more rich me guy. I swear to God that talk I'm move past you. I'm move past you, Gege. I'm move past you. Ask anybody. See, you go argue this thing, but I swear to God I'm move past you. You don't see how they move before. Me Gege, I'm move past you. I'm move past you. You know I'm more rich me guy. I swear to God that talk I'm move past you. I'm move past you, Gege. I'm move past you. Ask anybody. See, you go argue this thing, but I swear to God I'm move past you. You don't see how they move before. Me Gege.
So in a nutshell, everybody is sort of like fighting for his own space. So it's now up to you. You may sit together right now. If you sit now and put together a package to sell to the APC, propaganda, this or that, you may go to Nigeria and actually make some money from them. It's going to be interesting. The only thing is that it's got some risk. You may never come back in one piece. Anyway, I think that will be me. And I am going to take calls. Let's try and take calls tonight so that people can react to all of this. But if you do really have to go, remember, try like the broadcast before you do that. Like it, share it. And when I come back, I'll take calls. maybe for a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Thank you very much, everyone. And a very big thank you to those of you who have responded. That means liking the broadcast, sharing it as well, and subscribing onto the channel as well. I have a caller on the line, and just before my caller comes on, here is a reminder that to those who are pretty much still interested in reaching out and supporting Maiyegun's Diary Politico, the link, you saw those links you have in the comment section, right? You can copy them. They are very much safe to be used, just so you know. Here is my first caller. Hello.
Hello, Baba Maiyegun.
Baba.
I've been trying to call you for the past 3 months, and thank God that I was successful today. Yeah.
And you are the first caller tonight. Or this afternoon?
Yeah, yeah, lucky me.
See?
So I just want to talk about this, their 2027 charade.
It is also.
Yeah. Yeah. I at times I laugh whenever I hear this everybody talking that they want to remove Tinubu, something like the 2027 election, that the result has already been written. Right? Whether is even, in fact, if the whole population of Nigeria, let's say there are 200 million population, if everybody come together and say we are putting out Tinubu, INEC will manufacture INEC will manufacture 500 million votes, even more than the population of Nigeria.
But some people believe that. Then, some people say that that's a reverse psychology, that Tinubu and his gang have been using it to make people believe that no matter what they do, there's no way that they can remove Tinubu. So they say it is a reverse psychology.
I know, because
if people stand up truly, and they get shortchanged, Tinubu won't even find it easy. But you seem to disagree with that.
Yeah. So I know, I'm an obedient, and some obedience may pick an offense for what I want to say.
Well, it doesn't matter. Speak your mind, sir.
Number one enabler of these people, of this their charade is Peter Obi. With the way things are going, Peter Obi will create another people that will win election, and after 2 weeks, they will now be singing on your mandate.
You get
because immediately after that 2023 election, if Peter Obi was somebody that is serious with his ambition of
fighting for his mandate,
he will have floated his own political party.
And guess what? Do you think floating his own political party in a space like Nigeria, because he's not going to manufacture the people that will be in his political party? You get what I mean? So do you really think that's enough?
When I look at Sowore's criticism of Peter Obi. You know, Sowore is it pains Sowore that the type of resources and support Peter Obi has. If he was the one that had that even half of that strength, he would have done something.
Like these guys won't sleep at night. I get it.
At night, something like that. You know, let me even okay now. If Peter Obi contest under this, because you know APC has told them that there is no automatic ticket for some of these lawmakers now. Now, some of them that will be shortchanged in their primary, they will now run to either Peter Obi movement or something like that to
take cover again.
At the end of the take cover. At the end of, they will be elected again. You know, after about 2 or 3 months,
they will go and sing on your mandate.
Well, they will not say on the mandate, on your mandate, on your pampas or something like. They will not be singing before you know it. They will not be cross carpeting. But you know, if you had mobilized the obedient, that strength, something like
that it could have transformed that to a political party, and by now they would have started taking shape. Is that your own theory?
Something like just go and mobilize them, and then they have the seed to form a political. Then you will be in control of your party, not all this party. You know, Peter Obi is like an alien in Labour Party, because he was not there when they formed the party. So it is, you know, they see him as an intruder. But if you mobilize the support, the obedience, in fact, they will form the most energetic political party in Africa. I trust the obedient. Then they have they can use, all these, they can have their database. The obedient can have a political party that have the database of that. You know, the reason why they recall, they say, if you vote for somebody into the National Assembly and the person defect, you can recall. But the reason why the recall is not that effective in Nigeria is because even the voters rate, to even get the half of the total number of voters, the
accurate data of the voter is war.
Because they don't have the data. Both PDP, all these people, because they don't have the data. But obedient, they have the resources, they have the talent,
their own data and use that to project.
They can conveniently tell everybody that in so local government in Imo State, we have so number of, and they can, if they vote for anybody and they can make a successful recall, not the recall Yaya Bello and this
those also are organized.
They were doing, something like that. Something like that. And then once they know the stuff you are as a political party, as the obedient with your party, no, they won't try nonsense with you. Say they want, because they know what you can do.
Thank you so much. So let me take another one because of our time. Okay. I appreciate that as well. God bless you, Baba. You have a good one. Okay. Here is another caller. Now, let's make it as brief as possible. Maybe tonight we can take enough calls. Here is Hello.
Hello, Mr. Maiyegun. Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Greetings to you. I'm fine.
Likewise.
This is my second time that I'm calling you on the line. Absolutely.
Beautiful.
It's great to have you.
It's a pleasure. Please, everybody can hear you, sir.
There is something that I just want to say. I want to add on. So this is your program at the moment. I think a lot of people have to understand the fact of who the obedient are. Because most people always turn it to Peter Obi. Obedience is only with Peter Obi. That is not true. That is not the functions of the obedience. The obedience are obedient to someone that wants to bring something good to Nigeria. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
That's what drives them. Go on.
That's what drives them. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's just like my great man, Moyele Sowore. If Moyele Sowore can be able to go on a little bit flexible with his stand, flexible with his mind, be a little bit composed, the obedience can also support Moyele Sowore. I don't know if you understand. It is what you want to present. It is what you want to present to the Nigerian people.
Like you could have them on your side.
You could have them on your side.
You can pretty much present a convincing sort of idea that is towards bringing something different, or like making Nigeria better is your theory, right?
Making Nigeria better, absolute. You know,
so a lot of people sold them that. I believe they sold them that, and today look at us. They betrayed them.
That is it. That is it. That is it, Miami. Just like you're saying, I just want to be very sure because I type sometimes, I follow the charts, I always type, you know, because I don't always get you online. I say some things clear.
Right.
I don't believe, I was very, very motivated 2023. I called you.
Right.
I spoke with you. That was the first time I spoke with you about it.
I think I remember
And I only appealed. Listen, the mercenaries, I told you that about our meeting in Hungary, Budapest. I invited you. You did. I said I will call you back later privately. Now, we needed only 5,000 people in Abuja. 5,000 people to come out in Abuja.
Well, in that regard, in that regard, right, the last caller's, his own position, right, was that if after the 2023 charade, and the first thing they did was to go back to the drawing board and build on that momentum in a way that maybe have their own political party where data is the weapon, like is such a, so like you mentioned, you know, because there are people who understand the use of a data as a weapon. And I'm talking about a weapon of change. So if you have a reliable data that says, oh, the obedient are currently, they have confirmed or verified the data of 22 million members, in such a way that people like yourself could actually work with such a platform and say, you know what, we need just 5,000 people in Abuja. And they'll say, oh, we'll give you 50. You know, that kind of a thing. So whatever other ideas of enforcing the people's will become a little bit easier, don't you think?
It will be a little bit easier, but there is always this belief. I always listen to your sender, also not only to your sender, but to other programs also, like the one with I was saying, 190 something FM.
Right.
People always try to present obedience as only with Peter Obi. This is what I want to say this evening in your program. It is not true. It is not true. It is not.
I agree.
Anybody that wants to bring out something positive, we are even looking for somebody greater than him, because I have already made it very clear on your program, he is too weak. He is good. We saw the attitude he pulled out. We did it in this central part of Europe. We tried to finance. We tried to support. We tried to sponsor people that wants to go down to the country to go and vote. We did our part. We did it. We did it.
Well, when it was time, when it was time to use that momentum to actually put the establishment in its place, it called.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that was a big mistake, Maiyegun.
Some people believe that it's not. Now,
it is.
I'm going to agree with you. I don't know if I should call it a mistake, right? But I'm going to agree with you that it is something that I believe is wrong. Because, see, the weak argument of Obi's defender in that regard was that, oh, if he had done that, they would have started killing the Igbos, attacking the Igbos, this and that.
No.
But they still went for the Igbos.
2023. 2023 was bigger than what most Nigerians knew about. There are some things Nigerians don't know. It was bigger. There were people on ground. There were mercenaries in Nigeria. There were people on ground. Listen to me. There was one thing Dati Obi said on Arise News. He said this presidency is unconstitutional. And Dati Baba Ahmed, does not listen. Dati Baba Ahmed, everybody was looking at, did we make a mistake here? Did we make a mistake here? Did we sponsor the wrong candidate here? You know, you come, you are very intelligent, you have good intentions, your ideas is great, you are so soft-spoken, but when it is time for you to blow that trumpet. Can you imagine, Maiyegun, can you imagine if Tinubu was in Obi's place?
We can only imagine.
Please.
That's the same question I asked some Ronukus lately, right? I said, let us be honest here. No pretend. Let's assume that it was Peter Obi that declared your president in 2023. And Nigeria is now what it is right now. The Fulani terrorists killing, the Boko Haram taking spaces, the economy is in shambles. Do you think Tinubu will be quiet right now, their camp? And the answer was, but that's not our fault now. If Peter Obi cannot shut down Nigeria now, that's his own fault. I said, well, you're right.
You're right.
You're right. Because if the shoes were to be on the other, underfoot, right? Then we all know what will happen. See, let me take another one. Awa?
Yeah, you would take another one. And I just want to also say thank you very much. I appreciate you. We are looking forward. That's your paper, something. I'm going to do something there. I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you.
Bless you. Have a great
day. Yeah, you too. And there we have a lady, the first lady tonight, Charm. How are you, ma'am?
Hi. I'm fine, thank you, Mike. Good evening.
Good evening to you. So you are joining us in the conversation tonight, and I know why, but I won't say. But here, go.
Yes, you know why. You're very spot on.
Yeah, you probably chose this to just watch tonight, but the conversation was going in a place that you just couldn't like ignore. And it's a good thing though, right? So add your piece.
And I'll remain consistent. I will not how will I put it? Listen to somebody come online, right? And say things like, oh, this person was a weak candidate, or this person was weak because he didn't, he didn't take the momentum and ask for people to go out there and do this and that and the other. And I said it repeatedly on this platform, right? The problem with a lot of Nigerians is that they're waiting for a savior. They're waiting for somebody to tell them what to do, where to go, where to be, how to do this, how to do that, how to do the other. Who is telling you how hard things are for you today? Does anyone have to tell any Nigerian that things are hard? You then need Peter Obi to come out and tell you that things are not the way they ought to be. You don't need Peter Obi to come and galvanize you to do the things that you ought to do for yourself, for goodness sake.
But Charm, the symbolism of having your leader lead in the front, people believe is so effective, right? Then just let them do whatever they want, because you can't even let them do what they want. You get what I mean? Because you'll still be blamed for it. Kind of, yeah.
You have been doing this. You've been running this platform, disseminating all of this information for years before I even joined your platform. Okay, you've been doing this. You even talked about data. You have the data. You have the information. You know historically what will happen if somebody like Peter Obi went out and said, "Oh, okay, everybody, I've been robbed. We have been robbed. Okay, let's go out there and do this and that and the other." Do you know the chaos that will ensue because of that?
Yeah, it is the line of argument to say he wouldn't want to put his supporters in the line of danger. Then those who are calling on him as well are saying, but everybody's in the line of danger right now. So whatever it is,
if everyone knows that they're in the line of danger, what's the point of calling people to say what is already obvious, for goodness sake? You're in the line of danger. You just came online to claim that you're not just galvanizing around Peter Obi because he's the only person. You are supporting anything that will suggest people can do things the right way. Or if that is the case, then Peter Obi is not necessarily your leader, because you already have all of this. You support other people who if they are great and if they are good at and they are doing and saying the things that you want to hear in terms of like a better Nigeria and all of that. You don't necessarily. The point I'm trying to make, right, is that you don't need Peter Obi today. The way Nigeria is, right, we don't need a savior. You don't need anybody to come and save you.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I'm going to see my own postulation. Sorry to cut you short, Sham, right? Is that your argument is so valid because those who need Peter Obi to challenge what Tinubu and his gang are doing to them are only looking for excuses on why not to do anything. Because
exactly
these millions of people can still take up their destiny. I mean, we have Kenya now, you know, and there's no opposition politician leading them in Kenya.
In fact,
they killed them last year, right? They killed them last year. We were here. We saw it. We saw what happened in Kenya. A year after, right? Nobody told them to come out and challenge these same people again because they just remember that a year ago, we were only telling these people not to force this IMF tax on us, but they did anyway. So they still haven't changed. Now we are going back to the streets. And today we are seeing videos from Kenya. And it is none of it is organized by opposition. Where you make points. Go on.
But yeah, here we are in Nigeria, waiting as usual, looking for a savior, looking for who is going to help you.
Like hold our hand.
That's the biggest problem. You want somebody to hold your hand. You want somebody to tell you what they're going to do. Right now, Nigerians are drowning, let's say, in the sea of the poor economy and everything that comes with it, right? You want people to tell you to save yourself for goodness sake, to save yourself from drowning. You're waiting for somebody who is on a boat to tell you, oh, you know what, it's high time you guys do this and that and the other. Save yourself for goodness sake. Stop waiting for Peter Obi to do anything for you.
But what about that part again, Charm, right? Here is another part where they say, from 2023, it was obvious that the system kind of manipulated everybody to make Tinubu press, right? Now, people went all out for Obi and all that. So those who are claiming that it couldn't lead them are using that as the reason why they're like, you know, if we go out again and do the same thing, now that we know what these guys are capable of, would you be able to defend our vote? Does the same logic applies to you vote, you defend your vote. You don't need Peter Obi to ask you to. Because at the end of the day, it shouldn't be about him. Do you want to use the same logic? Because people are saying that, is he going to stand with them if they go out again? Or is he just going to be like, waste of time? So are you saying...
You don't need Peter Obi, you don't need Peter Obi to go and fight for your vote. Because at the end of the day, right, they're counting votes. Peter Obi's vote is one vote, right? Now, if we feel collectively that we have been robbed, right, then you go and defend your vote. And as many people that go out there to just defend that vote that they stolen, you don't need Peter Obi to tell you what to do. I think I'm just come to the point where this waiting for, this person to come and save me. I'm over it. You understand? I'm over that whole, let's wait for this person to come and help us. Peter Obi should come and do this. Obi, that's it. Did we choose the wrong person?
I mean, in fairness, right? In fairness, he's the only person that almost everybody is using this high standard to judge. When it comes to others, right? People don't really have to use high standard to judge them. They just pretty much like, you know. Anyway, Charm, let me take another
You know what?
one,
Because I've just been like, I'm listening to the guy. I'm like, you know what? Enough of all of this.
I get you.
If I don't say anything else to anybody, right? Let me just tell Nigerians. Stop waiting for anybody to save you. Not the West, not your leaders, not your criminal political leaders, not Peter Obi, not even the righteous, politician is going to come and save you. You defend
not any Abroadian to come back and help you. No.
Any Abroadian to come and help you. You're the one feeling the pinch.
That's right.
You're the one that has to wake up and live in that insecurity, in that economy. You are the one that has to wake up every day and figure it out. So instead of waiting for Peter Obi or anybody to come and save you, get off your asses and go and save yourself.
Okay, fierce. Thank you, Charm. Let me take another one, right? It's a pleasure hearing from you, though. So that's our lady, Charm. I have another caller as well. Hello.
Maiyegun General.
Baba.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
This is Big Mo.
The Big Mo. How are you, Baba?
I'm fine. How's your family, first of all?
We thank God, though. Same old.
I just hear when I back and forth.
I get that. You see, all of us there where we did right now, and either emotionally or otherwise, we are investing in what is going on in that place. So what will be your reaction? Because last it will affect all of us. So whether we participate or we don't.
That's our problem in the first place. Since Cham is a female, I understand women are more emotional than men. Fine.
Okay.
But you see, our problem is say nobody won't agree. Say we don't believe in the same thing. Now, when Peter Obi came along with obedient and all that, they say, everybody just jump on the obedience wagon. A lot of them are not obedient. A lot of them don't care about Peter Obi. On the thing start to the hot, they say, oh, you know, the thing is moving.
Yes.
A
lot of them even build career over this movement.
So I think until we stop, like you talked about Kenya. Let me give you small. You talked about Kenya.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday you said tribe. They don't look tribe. They don't look religion. They don't look ethnicity.
No.
That's because they have never looked at it like that. They see Kenyans. In this Nigeria, we have never seen ourselves like Nigerians. Let's say we even go. Some people say, "Oh, let's go back to the regional system of government." Blah blah. No be northwest and northeast. They fight.
So
Ganduje and then Zulumo,
Shitty Man and the rest.
So even the regional self, they have scattered it. So I don't know when. I wish I had my way. Maybe we can. If there was a way, we can fast forward 8 years. I want Peter Obi to be president. I want Tinubu to finish his own. Let Peter Obi be president. Let them do Christian ticket. Let them do traditional ticket. So that by the time they exhaust everything,
all options,
I realize, say, they work. Then maybe everybody will now sit down and say, "Oh boy, where are we now going?" Because we will just be like, there's a reason why Nnamdi Kanu yes, he's not a general. He's not an army officer. But you think he doesn't know how to take up arms and fight like the way Ojukwu fought? But there's a reason why he doesn't want to do the same thing again. Doing the same thing over and over again, they say that insanity.
It is so.
There's a reason, yes, you say, is it getting, some people will say, oh, is it benefiting from it now? It's going from one prison to the other. Well, he has somebody that has done it on the front line where no succeed. Nobody has done it the way he's doing now. So let's see where you come out from.
Where that ends.
But this Peter Obi, personally, me, I don't see Peter Obi different from them, to be honest.
Right.
You see all of them for IBB book launch. You don't see them.
That is one thing that people who are discerning enough will say, listen, I don't know much other than what is in the public about Peter Obi, and majority of these guys, we are dealing with them based on what is in the public. And I'm talking about verified things in the public. There are lies about them. There are truths about them. So when you look at this guy, you can say, he's all right. I don't mind him. But you are talking about a system that we can see different characters who have had the similar opportunity like him. And we knew what they did with all of them. Some of them, there are people who felt like they should never be allowed to get closer to power again. So hang on, if he now becomes the president, are these not the guys he's going to bring on board?
They are the guy who made him.
So even if because let's be fair, let's be honest, Tinubu appointed yes men because he felt like they could be loyal to him. His yes men are a team destroying Nigeria right now. It is not Tinubu that was supposed to pick up a gun, that he failed to pick the gun to fight terrorists. Some guys are. It is not Tinubu that is meeting with the IMF, World Bank to permutate all this nonsense they put together for him to sign. Now, some people who call themselves experts making deal for Nigeria.
Cardi B.
You get. So all the effect of all of these guys, they are from the fact that their agenda is in contrast. Maybe that of Tinubu may be in the same space. So what about these guys around there? Are we going to just ignore them?
Wait, Maiyegun, let me even ask you something.
Yeah.
You think say it's by mistake that they cannot arrest Peter Obi? You think say they cannot arrest Peter Obi? You think say they cannot carry Peter Obi like Atiku Abubakar Issa, the 50-year-old Nance president,
Do you think they can?
You cannot carry they can, of course, but you cannot carry his establishment too. He's in front. He's in front that he will go to his brother's building and be showing the building. By the way, personally, I didn't even fall for that thing. I don't know why, but that didn't just sit right with me. Oh, you just came back from traveling. As you are coming back, your brother call you. They don't enter. Caterpillar don't scatter in building. Baby, Why is? And if you look at all of them, if Peter Obi is in the news on Monday, Tinubu will be there on Tuesday. Wike will be there on Wednesday. Atiku or whoever is fronting for Atiku will be there on Thursday. Peter Obi is going to overtake, enter on Friday. That's what they have been doing. That's what they are doing. That's what they are doing. That's what they are doing. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, and also this messianic person, where did they wait for? That's why I say I wish I had my way. More will fast track, more will give them like 30 years. So we'll go do Christian tickets. We'll go do Peter Obi 8 years. We'll go do traditional religion. Maybe we'll go even take different traditional religion from different parts of Nigeria. When all of them realize, say, oh boy, Nigeria not the
system is now. People need to know that the country itself is not put together to actually work for anybody.
See Kenya now, they knock this one stick. They know they run, they move forward.
You get?
Nigeria
want to see that in Nigeria, but now they say Nigeria, they ask you some questions, right? Yeah. Somebody just asked me and you now that we are hypocrites. Share all of our friends as saints because we are talking about guys whose action would impact your life, my life, everybody's. But whether my friends and your friends are saints or not, we'll have to come to the conversation. You get that?
Oh, they say we are hypocrites, me and you.
Now we are hypocrites.
No problem.
Because because we are saying that these existing criminals, right, around Peter Obi, okay, that when people say maybe is going to do better than them and all that. So I'm just like backing what you said and said we can't ignore these criminals around him. That even if he means well, what about this rule?
That's why I did not call him anybody criminal.
And somebody said,
I'm not even talking about hypocrites. I'm not even talking about the people around him. Forget about the people around him. I'm talking about him. He's the only billionaire around himself. The only other billionaire I know, I don't know whether that is not a billionaire, but I know he's a very rich man. I don't know anybody else around him. That's why I told you. Did they invite you to IBB's book launch? Because nobody invites me to IBB's book launch. But they were all there. You think it's by mistake where IBB goes? What's his name? Peter Obi goes sit quietly for back wearing black clothes. Didn't Obedient finger him still and give him for Twitter?
And now
that's one thing I give to them.
Now, with that one, you have to give that to them. On that one, okay?
Yes.
They enter well.
That one doesn't translate. Like now, we're talking about 2023 election. Everybody was saying, we had hope in this 2023 election. Because they talk about beavers. They talk about all these things.
You remember?
I was thinking to myself, this Fourth Republic, when I don't see straight election before, beavers came.
No be human being go operate I'm going to take another one.
They don't check the INEC chairman, all the rec, all these people. No be. Oh my good night, Jari.
Good night too. I'll take this one. And I think we are almost, we still have like another 20 minutes or so, but there is a call on the line, okay? So like I said, right, just remember that when people call in to share their own personal view and opinion and the rest of that, it is not in my place to begin to, So I will chat you up because it is your view. And there are those who are also going to disagree with you in that comment. But if you do disagree with anyone, right, pick up the phone and say your mind too. Here. Is that Diola? Are you still there? Baba. Hey, only local. Is that Diola? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Adiola, how you doing, Baba? I said you get local. Man, I picked you, it dropped. And you are able to come back in right away. The line is quite busy tonight.
I just say you quickly.
Epos Audu.
Otis to everybody. Otis to everybody.
Yeah.
Otis to everybody. I don't tire. I don't tire. I don't tire.
So you tell me about it, Baba. 2027 still foul. Tired, DK.
you sue me. I just think, everything will start unraveling before that 2027. There will be a big unraveling. There will be people picking different kinds of tents, just to stay in power for what? You destroy the country now. There's nothing left again, Maiyegun.
Yeah.
There's nothing left. If you were to do X-ray and go for MRI scan about OT cast, everything is, you've destroyed everything. There's nothing else remaining. I don't know what they are adjusting for or pitching tent or trying to.
Well, if you think nothing remains, and they still see that there is so much still left, and they are spending so much enough that call a man that says, whatever money cannot do, Adeola.
More money will do it.
You see, so you have no ways that. So if there is nothing there, guy, they probably won't be. Right now, the entire system has become so compromised, right, that these guys have concluded all their plan enough that they believe that some people won't even reach the level that they will put their poster or their picture and that of Tinubu side by side by 2027. Maybe una they organize, say you want to do election, you want to run against him, this and that. Baba, people will get disqualified. People will be, a lot of things will make people like that 2027 though, with the Wiki and his gang. And I'm not going to even get enough to say you want contest. Where are you want to contest when INEC don't remove your name?
I from what I've seen so far, this is the first time that I'm seeing that the politics is so enormous that it does not even look at the suffering of the people at all. I've never seen a case whereby people are so immersed in the politics of the next cycle.
I'm telling you, while the country is facing hell, right? These guys are more interested in their 2027, and they are pursuing it with so much vigor, like serious. You get the country is burning. Like what?
You go to a state whereby people have been massacred, and there are comments around politics and political enemies. I can't reconcile that, Maiyegun. You can't reconcile it. The people's needs are nowhere. They are nowhere. They are nowhere in shape or form in their front line. All they know is that next election cycle. It's the first time I'm seeing it in my lifetime that there is no effort at all to do anything. All we know is that people are nominating him ahead of 2027 election.
Yeah,
people are saying they will deliver their state. I don't understand that. For me, it is baffling, Maiyegun, that the seed that they are sowing will come back and haunt them, Maiyegun, because the way it is now. I don't know if there is
there is a question I once asked someone, and it was supposed to be an honest answer, so to say. Okay, so Tinubu has to go. All right, and it's not just Tinubu. The entire anything that has to do with APC, Egbekegbe has to go. But they currently have so much power and resources to make that impossible. But people say people's will or people's power is more powerful than the people in power. So when Kolu leaves, who should, or should I say when the APC ends, what should replace it?
You see, Maiyegun, you are thinking too far. You're not looking at the outcome of the damage they've done already to people's lives.
Right.
So you can, we can talk about what will replace it. But if you defund the vital part of the economy, when it's time for you to reap what you've sown, you will reap a poorer state and you keep on reaping a divided state. So the fruit of what they've done would have to appear first before we start calling what replace APC, because this poverty that they've re-engineered and into a new monster will have to bear fruit one day. So I just pray
and
that
until we finish eating that fruits,
we
can't start afresh.
Because Maiyegun, you can be saying people are nominating him, but the outcome of the average Nigerian man is not going to be better in the next 2 years. Their life outcomes.
But they are telling people that the worst is over now.
No, see,
they said that Tinubu's policies are going to begin to start manifesting.
See, that is what is baffling. You can talk is cheap, but what are the policies you put in place? How are you checking is working? There's nothing working, Maiyegun.
No.
Have you improved food security?
No.
What do you have to show that food is secure? What do you have in place to show that the price of X and Y commodities are going to be driven downwards? There is no proof anywhere, Maiyegun.
But it's just trust us. They are telling people to trust them. Trust us. You can't trust us.
Trust now. Wind. Can you trust
I go lie for you.
Can you capture wind?
I go lie for you.
Trust wind.
You know, imagine APC saying, "Trust me." You say, "How?" I go lie for you. You say, "You APC now go kill you." You know.
No, if you might go before I leave quickly.
Yes,
just
sir.
a quick one. If you have a database of all the farmers and you secure where they are and you know the harvest per hectare that they're going to produce and you subsidize them heavily to drive price downwards and you are making tangible, observable efforts that people can see, then we will believe you.
Like that is traceable development. When people say things takes time. Yeah, when people say development takes time, that's kind of development you can track. Nobody to commission 30 kilometer or nobody to commission 20 kilometer from 750 kilometers.
There's a yam exchange, a yam commodity exchange around the Benue side before the Buhari time. It was a bustling town whereby yam used to go into that yam exchange that people used to buy middlemen. The price of yam was affordable. All of a sudden, Boko Haram headsmen, everything just got destroyed. People were able to go to the farms. Yams were rotting in the ground. People were killed on their farmland. The farm exchange, the yam exchange itself, a massive warehouse facility, became dried up.
Yeah.
So why won't yam be close to 10,000 naira per tuber? So there isn't any tangible, observable thing you can hold on and say, you know what? They have made concerted efforts to drive down the price of. Get a basket of goods that constitutes your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and make the efforts to drive down those prices. Either you heavily subsidize farmer. Every country subsidizes something.
Absolutely.
Is whatever you subsidize just has to make sense and have a tangible outcome for people's prosperity. It's simple as that. So if you get all the Nigerian farmers and secured all their borders and he subsidized them heavily, whereby they're able to produce, because farming is expensive. It's expensive. In the UK, for every pound that a farmer makes, government subsidy accounts for 60%, about 60p for every pound they make. So that means that farming is not even profitable in the first place. In the UK, it's not profitable because even the ground in the UK is less fertile. But in Nigeria, it's even more fertile. You can actually count how many more harvests you have in the UK. They can tell you, you know what, we have only 50 more harvests in the UK, 50 years of more strong harvest because of the soil is not that great. But Nigeria, the soil is super prosperous. So if we
people can cultivate them because of insecurity.
You can't even cultivate them. So there is no tangible, observable trace that you've collected all the farmers. You have their numbers, you have their farmland, and you are pouring free seeds, and you are pouring free tractors, and you are monitoring every harvest per hectare that is driving down price. There isn't, the will is not there. And whenever the will is not there, stop wishing. There's no will, so we need to stop wishing. Good night.
Adeola, God bless you. Thank you so much. I want to also say a very big thank you to these individuals. I'm just going to call your first name because you probably want to be anonymous. Joachim, as well as Adegoke. Bless you too. So you see, I see I have people who care for me. But let's take this call. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Maiyegun.
Sir?
Maiyegun.
Yes, sir.
This is the first time I'm calling you.
Oh, it is the first time. And where are you calling from?
I'm in Warri, but I live in Lagos.
You are in Lagos. How is Lagos?
I live in Lagos, but I'm in Warri right now.
Oh, are you in Warri?
Right now for a job.
Oh, bless
But I live in Lagos.
Bless you, Baba. So how is Warri tonight?
Very well, very fine.
Very well.
You
decided to join us this evening?
Yes, please. I've always joined you.
Right. So now
I've always joined you.
God bless you.
My wife and I quarreled because of you.
No, come on. Next time you are back in Lagos and she's around, right? Make me say hello to her. All right.
She says we are wasting our time. Nigeria is irredeemable.
Hey, okay. Now tell me more. I want to listen now. Go on.
But I don't believe Nigeria is irredeemable. I'm an obedient myself.
Bless you.
And I also followed through all the campaigns, all the rallies. Yeah. The thing is, Nigeria is so tough now. Very tough.
It is.
And then we're waiting for somebody to lead the way. I don't think that should be the strategy. Well, wow. I'm also hoping that there's still a lot of time. We are waiting on. Yes, we are waiting on. There's going to be a lot of implosion in the APC. So after that there'll be some realignments. And then everybody will put it out.
So that everybody can then be on the same camp and then you go again. But the question is, or should I say the people's concern who are trying to invest in this is that, if Peter Obi is part of their coalition, well, maybe they stand a chance. Do you think so? I mean, you are there.
Obi being in the coalition, and the coalition making any sense is for them to allow him to run as the presidential candidate.
That is your own position too. Anything short of that, Imko. Like, for instance, the coalition don't come together. They decided to pick somebody else and say, you know what? All of us
we are not going to be interested.
See?
We are not going to be interested.
Now, I'm speaking to an obedient from Nigeria. So when I told you here that I have read people's reactions, they've been very clear. They don't mind that, these guys are coming together to form coalition. Not that they like them, but you know something? They can look away as long as you make Peter Obi. So there are people who strongly believe that Peter Obi is enough to effect a sort of a positive something on this,
because the important thing is for us to remove a common enemy.
Right.
So once that is done and somebody with some sanity is in the center of affairs as president,
right,
then there is hope for this. Then there is hope for the country.
So some of the people believe that what Nigeria need is not a saint or anything, just somebody to bring sanity, just a momentary sanity. People have been through a lot in the last 10 years.
Yes.
Right.
And I promise you that an Obi presidency will not be like this current presidency where you have a lot of criminals all over the place. Because having preached to the whole world that is going to run a transparent government, it will not get it there and start with rascality.
Right.
What you are seeing now is damn too much.
It is.
How can somebody be giving his son 40 billion worth of land in Abuja? How can you do that?
and then damn out the consequences.
It's insanity. How can somebody say you will come back, we will reinstate you as the governor of Rivers State, but you will only run for one term?
You will not run for second
Why?
term.
What are you? Who are you? Who are you? Are you the person that appointed him? He was elected, for crying out loud.
At least, let's pretend that he was elected. Can you please respect that? But because they believe that maybe he's not.
That? And you're openly telling us that this is what you. That's why everybody is running into APC. Like you call them.
Yes, so I mean that's who they are. You see why I call them Egbekegbe is because I am like, wait, there is time for politics. You get? There is time for governance. Okay? So you cannot suspend governance for politics. All right? Yeah. And then start gaslighting the citizens for complaining that you have abandoned governance. That can be, Egbekegbe is a bad society. APC is one.
Yeah.
Baba?
Yes. So we are waiting patiently. We are grouping. We are grouping and waiting.
We are also watching. Good luck. Good luck with that.
So once we are ready, you will see what will happen.
I mean, I'll be here. That's exactly what I want to see. Baba?
Yes, it will happen in our time.
God bless you and safe trip back to Lagos, okay? When next you are there,
thank you.
Let me say hello to the missus, okay? You have a good one, sir.
No problem. Cheers, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. So I have another caller on the line. A quick one. Hello. Hello there. Can you hear me? Now that's the problem. Sometimes the call is connected or it's not. But can you hear me, sir or ma'am? Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good. I almost took another one there.
Oh,
great. But you.
Oh yeah, Maiyegun. This is Lucky from Canada.
Saraki.
Lucky from Canada.
That's what I mean. Lucky from Canada.
I agree too.
Baba, I agree with you.
Yes, boss. Yeah.
I know. All of us can hear you, by the way. So when you are ready, just fire.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah. I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Please go on.
Go ahead. Thank you for what you are.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for what you are doing. You are doing a great job, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I just want to say something about Peter Obi. Like I do say, Peter Obi is part of the establishment. Yeah. He might be the less evil one.
You get?
But if Peter Obi eventually gets to that power, I don't think he'll be able to do anything, because for him to have gone during the election, he went to pay homage to what's his name, IPP and Abu Salam Abubakar. I don't know the criminal in that country. Those are the ones dictating for the people within the country. So what will he be able to do? Not be able to do anything. So the way things are in Nigeria right now, it's only revolution that can make Nigeria a better place. Revolution. Let's forget this, our Oduduwa, our Biafra, and our Arewa. If we can come up and have one mind and fight these people, that is only when Nigeria will be okay. I'm telling you.
So you don't believe you don't believe in their elections, and at the same time you are not buying this idea of let's get to be something different from APC. You're not buying that, are you?
Baba, all those charades, there's no election in that country, Baba. Those guys, they know who's going to win the next election.
Just push their own keke.
Yes, now they know who will win the next election. When Tinubu never win the first one, now not do anything. And now we don't win the first one, and now we can't win now. We can't win him now. They know what to do overnight. You understand? And let me tell you, all those are the UN and all those people. Nobody go say, okay, make us separate. They will not support it.
No.
If the thing over there bloody, UN, the America, the Canada, the UK, they will not join it. They will not do anything. You understand? Right. Now when they don't say this is not a day bloody, that's when they will now come in and say, our company, they want to take over our more. You understand? That is it. There's nothing good that can come from that country. I'm telling you. There's nothing good.
That is not even a cause.
Yeah.
Saraki, see, I'm going. Yeah, go on. Sorry, you want to add more?
Yeah. No, I'm listening to you, Baba. I didn't hear you, Baba.
So I am going to partially agree with you. All right, in the sense that revolution is something that a lot of the people believes that happens spontaneously. Like we all agreed on this platform that you don't even give it a date. But others also believe that something will have to happen. As much as we don't wish for all this kind of a bloodbath and all that, people have said that if these criminals have to be shown the door, then there is a chance that there are people who are going to die. People are dying every day anyway. So whether you choose to or not, people are still going to. People will die. So then people now believe that, people are saying, I keep using people. I would say some people are saying that an event, something has to happen. Sure you get. And that something will happen in a way that it may actually be something so insignificant. Let me give you an example. We have seen Warsaw, they have killed 200 people. They have killed 500. We have seen the military, they have killed civilians. We have seen the terrorists, they have killed military. We have seen worst that ordinarily should make people blood boil. But Nigerians have looked away. It may just be one day. It may just be one day. A politician will just go filling station, they inside in car, try to buy fuel. A fuel attendant goes into an argument with the politician's driver. Politician's driver push the attendant. Attendant fall down. She died. People got mad. They opened the door to attack the owner of the door. They see a politician, then burn the car. And before you know it, it don't spread everywhere. You see, something like that can lead to revolution. But again, you can't bank on one when there are also others. So those who are standing for elections or pushing elections, the reason why they support them is not because I believe that they can use the election to win anything, but I believe they can use the election to actually start something that's going to lead to something bigger. That's my own banking also. You don't think that way.
I agree with you in a way, but no election for the country now. We and you know that those things doesn't count. You know, it doesn't count. Then we're just wasting our time. Nothing will happen. It's a waste of time. I'm telling you, nothing will happen.
Well,
like today now, someone I don't know how true that is. Say that Togo they took to the street as well.
Since yesterday,
I don't know how true that.
Now it's about 2 days now.
So the thing is,
Kenyans have been on the street now for about 3-4 days.
The thing is spreading gradually. Don't reach our border. Don't be Togo here. Before you know how Benin Republic, Benin Nigeria, maybe the same border upon all of them. Before you know that, it's just that our own Nigerian people, they suffer the tunnel to take creative. They don't have to countries.
We are so divided. It's because we are so divided. Once the fire, when the spirit is burning down from the north, once it gets to the middle belt, it's just going to die. When the middle belt is boiling and boiling and boiling, trying to build something, once it gets to the southwest, it will die. If it is the south that is pushing something, the moment it gets to that north, it will die. So that division keeps, it's like we are blowing cold and hot at the same time. Never on the same place, never on the same level. And the politicians know this, Papa. The politicians know this. So the day that the fluctuating, what do you call it? People's wants in this regard, right? By the time this fluctuating up and down, the north, the south, the middle, this and that, by the time it just suddenly just balance, and the middle belt is in the middle, the north, the south, it could be the end, but we still haven't met that equilibrium yet. But we will still be pushed. Saraki, thank you so much for calling me, Baba. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, okay? Yes, sir. Let's take this. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Baba, how are you, sir?
Fine, good evening.
Good evening.
Maiyegun,
sir?
Like I said in the afternoon, many people don't know how Tinubu is prepared and who prepared
They
Tinubu.
can only assume, okay?
Because Maiyegun, I've lived in Germany like 14 years.
Bless you.
I'm now in America. So I've seen and we watch a lot of movies. How did Tinubu escape this drug problem in America. What the terms? And the other day, somebody asked question, is he Tinubu is a magician or what? Everybody that fought at that fake Nadeko with Tinubu, those people, some of them died, some of them went into jail. Only Tinubu sabi how to run. Only him get leg. Only him get. So we know Oyibo, they prepare themselves 50 years to come. They prepare Tinubu for Nigeria. For my own opinion, I've looked this thing in and out, up and down. They prepared Tinubu for this catastrophe for Nigeria.
Like
that's why
they prepared him for a time like this, for an assignment like this.
They saw it already. It's under prediction. They know it already that there's a time when Nigerians will be so gullible. That's why they first of all they put this empty mumu man first. Tinubu just stand there as if he never needed anything. He never needed anything.
He said it.
And all of a sudden, he said a miracle. And why I gave all these instances is like because of one guy that called and said, Obi supposed to do something. Obi supposed to do this. Obi supposed to do that. And Cham called and said, what do you want Obi to do? If you are expecting Obi to help you, then you have to be there. Because any little thing, look at answers. No force, just the citizen said, we want a good life. And what happened? They massacred them with flag without looking back.
All across the country, even though we speak more of Lagos, the number of people killed in eastern part of Nigeria is far more than the entire people killed in,
From that,
I'm talking about like, I'm even saying the trauma of that NSAS is so massive that the APC get away with it itself is actually a crime against humanity.
People that are saying Obi should provoke people to do something, to ask people to do something. If Obi try it, Obi himself will not go away. People, many innocent ones will die. They will find an opportunity to put more fears in people. Okay, look at immediately that massacre happened. The only man that left the country, they secured him because it's their asset. Is that man that is standing there now causing this havoc and catastrophe. So any election in Nigeria, they should forget it. Like you just said, something may trigger something that people will lose control. Yeah. That's the only way. Like they will catch this one, kill him. But in Nigeria, all these little spices, religion, ethnicity problem, tribalism problem, once they switch it, they plug it inside, our people will still be stupid again.
I know.
Understand? Because it happened on NSAS. So for me, Nigeria is gone. Even to divide Nigeria now is very difficult now. To divide Nigeria now, because if you want to divide Nigeria now, a lot of people have seen that Nigeria never loved them. Like middle belters now. Nigeria never wanted them. People in Kaduna, Nigeria never wanted them. People in Northwest,
they can't protect Nigeria them now. Right now, they are almost on their own, and they are supposed to be part of Nigeria.
Nigeria, like they said, Nigeria. So Nigeria to divide Nigeria now is a problem now. For me,
others are saying that in fact it is now that it will be easier to break Nigeria because now everybody don't know where they come from. You think otherwise?
Nigeria will not, because Nigeria love life. Right. They love life. Everyone want to taste money. But my own is tsunami. Tsunami, water carry people. See what water carry people. You see that flood that happened. People are still recovering. Water carry people for North. Water carry people for Lagos. Water fire, gas, bomb people for South, Imo State. There's gas there. Anambra State, earthquake in Tenugu. So when we begin to
there will be nothing left now, Baba. If all this thing happen,
Baba. It like said, war is like cutting a grass. The remaining one will survive, and they will train them back. So when that thing happens, everybody will not die. It's very difficult to remove life like that completely. So I will not know where they are going to put their private jet. Look at how wicked these people are. Those athletes that died on accident. Tinubu's wife gave them 105 million naira compensation to the families. If the money will get to the families, why not use that money on time and put these people on VIP? Charter one plane. How many are they? Now they died. You are bringing 105 million. My bye-bye. Thank you so much. Nigeria is appalling.
God bless you. Thank you very much again for that, your passionate contribution. I love it. So I'm taking my last call tonight, okay? Which is the caller on the line. Now, I want to quickly, say a big thank you to those of you who have been with us all night or all evening. And if you have been that person and you've liked this broadcast, don't do it again. It's fine, okay? But you can still share it though. But if you haven't liked the broadcast, please do. And if you joined us midway, you can rewatch this from the start. My last caller on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Hello there. Hello. Do I have you there or somehow I've lost you? Can you hear me? Oh, sorry about that. So it seemed we lost the last caller, or maybe we probably got them back. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun Baba.
Hello, ma. How are you?
Hello, I am doing good, and you?
Well, very well, ma'am. Thanks for asking. You are my last caller this evening, okay? So make it count.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Maiyegun, I've been thinking about some things.
Please share, ma'am.
First of all, you as a person, you are a special being.
Oh,
because we outside here listening to you, we cannot even take much of all these things you have seen. Can you imagine how much stuff you do not even talk about?
Because,
I think you need a therapist. I think you need somebody you can hold your mind to.
Yes, I agree.
And you need it because we ourselves, we are trying to wrap our minds around what is going on.
I mean, people have told me, people have said that they feel traumatized enough that they have to take a break from watching Maiyegun. And I'm like, really? Say yeah. Because it gets so much that Maiyegun, you make us think deeper than what we would have. And in that regard, we somehow feels like being almost like overwhelmed by the fear of what can be, looking at what's going on in that place. So we can't sit every evening and be listening to this and be seeing all these horrible pictures and all that and not get affected.
Oh my God.
So what about you, Maiyegun?
And furthermore,
I know.
Furthermore.
Yes, ma'am.
Furthermore, Nigerians, I doubt if somebody can come across God and say, God, are you sure you created these people? Even God will tell the person that no, I don't think so.
You see?
Because we are all Nigerians are crazy. We are all crazy.
And it's a special, different kind of crazy. Like if you have been crazy, right? When you meet Nigerians, it's a different. I mean, when you meet crazy Nigerians, it's a different, special kinds of crazy.
It's a different. Can you imagine something that I thought about something about animals?
Right.
I've never seen a species of animal that will not protect their territory. Only Nigerian politicians. They don't protect their territory. They don't care if everything burned down today.
No.
And guess what? I need somebody to tell me that our politicians, they are Nigerians. I think they are Nigerians.
Maybe we can do DNA to confirm that.
Passport.
They can't be. See, me, I have said this before. I have said this before, ma. I said nobody will treat what they love the way these politicians have treated Nigeria and Nigerians. You will never treat what you like, what you love. At least we all have possession of things that we love, we cherish. We will never treat them the way these guys are treating Nigeria. So convince me that this guy loves Nigeria the way and what they have done. Let somebody convince me.
And then when you look at the elections, Nigeria is a country whereby to contest as a president, You only need secondary school leaving certificate, even if it is F9.
Yes, so.
Then those electoral officers, you have to be a college professor.
See?
To partake as electoral returning officer. Or at least you have to be a university graduate.
At least a degree holder.
At least. Sir, tell me, how does it make sense for 2,000 people to come out and register in the morning that we want to vote? And as a professor, you register 2,000 people that should vote in a particular place.
Yes.
And at the end of the vote,
yep,
you counted, you have a record, not that you counted, you have a record of this party has this party has this, and you calculate everything, it became 7,000 people.
And you still go ahead to announce it.
And you still go ahead and announce it. And that means you are working, you are doing something against what you
even your own interests. And now you are doing something against your own interest, against your own profession.
Guess what? The next 4 years, the same idiot will still come back and do the same.
The same. Let me even give you my own theory too, right? Nigeria is a place where school dropouts, certificate forgers are rigged in by university professors, like you said, PhD holders, only for them, just because they offer them peanuts, only for them to hit the streets 6 months after these illiterates gain power, demanding for their salary and pension, because the criminals they rigged in have stolen their pension, and then they'll do it again next year. They will do it again and again and again.
I can tell you,
Nigeria is a special kind of craze, though.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We are all crazy.
It's a different kind of craze.
Nigerians now, all these things you are talking about.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you already have an experience of having a political party.
Yes, so.
And they will all tell you, oh yeah, we are tired, we are tired, we are tired, we are tired.
Poor
By the
people.
time you get to the forefront, poor people, they will then tell you, if you don't pay me, I'm not voting. If you don't pay me, I'm not voting.
On the day of election in 2019, on the day of election in 2019, a friend of mine who is the party chairman in one of the awards in Shagamu, so he went to his polling units, right? And as he got there, his own members that we have been together for the past 2.5 years, mobilizing ourselves, they all came to vote. And he was expecting them to say, oh, yeah, my people are here, they want to vote, they want to vote. Those ones they were now telling him that, they don't want to waste their vote too. That if you want them to vote for the party will say they are their own party to vote. So they say, even if now 200 naira, you should give them. There are people are being offered 500, 1,000 there. They don't want to waste their vote. Member of our party chairman, me, two big stouts. Now, two big stouts, they give him for Abeokuta. He texts the WhatsApp group of the party and said everybody should go and vote for PDP. Big stout drink. Somebody who has placed him on a monthly salary. This is the party chairman, or our party chairman for the whole state, local government, states. Two big stouts, two Odeku, and he then give him for Abeokuta. Somebody who has been giving him salary for over 2 years that we have been doing all of this. So 2 years, that one was giving him 40,000 naira salary every month, right? He called her for money, and that one said she didn't have money. Wow. He told our members to go and vote for PDP. Election are tomorrow, this evening. Crazy people, very, very crazy people.
You know, when we talk about all this thing that is happening in Africa, generally the youths are, on the street and all of that. Maiyegun, I will say this in Yoruba. Egun lalo ma keyin gbale.
Last.
The day Nigeria will kick off,
the world will know. Me, I know that one. Even though there are people that believe that it will never happen, the world will know.
Easy waiting be no go happen. See all this palace school, it's happening in Africa. many of these palace schools, they didn't even fire a shot.
No.
They didn't even kill somebody.
No.
The day the Nigerian own will happen. Let me just be fair. Let me just be fair. Over 100 politicians will die.
For that moment, before they call ceasefire.
Over 100 politicians will die. Because people following those politicians are mad inside. But
waiting for their own opportunity.
Just waiting. Yes.
To pounce on
Everybody's
them.
just waiting for the day to pounce on them. Can you tell me, for somebody to decide to go and join the military, whereas you may go to war and not come back.
That's right.
And something that will build your morale is that, hey, I'm in Nigeria.
Yes.
So Nigeria has these weapons and we can go and fight and win the war.
Yes.
But unfortunately, your big boss, your commander, is a politician.
Corrupt, generals.
Yeah, your generals is a politician. And they will send you to war with their guns. And they know you are not coming
Like
back.
sending you to your death.
They know before you leave that you are not coming back. Guess what?
What?
If I now go to that war and I get to the front wall and I found out that what? So they really want me not to come back, then I escape to come back. I will kill that general.
Amen. Thank you so much, my lady.
And it will start from there.
Well,
thank you so much. So
and
our
you too.
politicians, they should be ready. They should be waiting for.
I mean, they shouldn't feel too comfortable. All right, because a day is coming.
It's coming. It's coming very soon.
God bless you.
2027 is not a day to be proud of.
A lot will
Thank
happen
you
even
so
before
much.
then. I agree.
A lot will happen before then.
God bless you. Stay safe, ma'am. Okay, and you have a wonderful weekend. It's almost over. You have a good night.
too.
Yes, ma'am. So now that is where we're going to draw the curtain. Enough that we had to use. We used all our 3 hours tonight. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Everybody has said their own. I've said mine. You've said yours. Tomorrow will be another day. So to the unionists, Yoruba unionists on Telegram, we are having our general meeting tomorrow. Please, just check the group. You'll see the link there to attend the meeting from, 3 tomorrow. You'll see the link there as well. All right. So to the leadership of the Yoruba Union as well, please make sure you attend. All right. I will see everyone else tomorrow evening, possibly. So good night. Good night from here.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Maiyegun Diary political. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary na him be number one. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ Saraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Saraki. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.